National Race Experience. Check us.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more.
I learned patience from my adoptive dad. All he had to say was,
"Hey, you got this. Just breathe." Hey, we're pretty good.
yeah.
Might have to start a band.
I got it.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over. Another victim to the crossover. Crossed him up and sent him down.
Time for the crossover, powered by Everlevel. Nope, never mind. Powered by anybody. This could be you.
How are you?
Although we do love.
Are we powered by anyone?
I don't know. Are we?
Oh, I didn't know if we were doing a bit or
the crossover.
Andy Kennedy's powered by Diet Coke.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
This sounds different. There is a lot of Diet Coke in Andy.
Andy Kennedy loves DC. He was telling me that he was trying to hit 3 Diet Cokes every day at the College World Series.
That sounds like he did.
His number was 40 for the CWS.
He said he cleared 40.
Smashed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure Josh and I made the line with him. And he was like, put a line for me.
That's why I asked him about it today on the show.
He likes. Diet Coke is good.
Okay, hang on. Before we go too far down the Diet Coke road, what do you think?
I'm gonna have to get used to it. I'm a creature of habit, and this is different.
Well, guess what? Time to start a new habit. This is like one of your things where you
love starting.
Yeah,
new
you
stuff.
love starting a new thing.
I do. I do. Sometimes I wish I would just stick to things longer. Like the whole book thing, I was reading books for 3 months. And I just dropped it.
Yeah.
I wish I would keep that.
It's because you got stuck in the 90s and you got really mad at the
That was
decade.
such a bad book for me to read. I got cut up. I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this. I have too much space.
Did you see the first 20 seconds of our show today?
No.
I just played with the microphone stand.
It's out there
I didn't
on
like
Twitter.
how any of it was.
I'm just like, I feel like I have too much room. Like I've been cooped up
Isn't it amazing?
in a closet, and now
I have yet to find a complaint with any of this.
I have a complaint.
I view this as.
Oh, really? Matt found something to complain about?
Interesting.
Yes, that's the bit, Josh. That's our show.
It's not a bit. It's your life.
I think this is like getting a new car. I'm sure I will come up with something that I dislike about this car later.
Sure.
But right now it's all new and I feel fresh and like I love getting new stuff.
Kind of like more of a new apartment. Like you transitioned apartments. Yes. This is a new apartment.
I'm sure there will be things that are going to be weird about it, but that's when I get into the everyday routine later on in my life, like later on in the week or later on next week, whatever it is. I'm sure there will be things that happen. Right now, I'm like, this is awesome.
The weirdest part for me is looking left now. If I look left before, I was looking out the window. Yeah, now I have to turn and I'm looking at you in an entirely different way.
I can understand
I have to sit
that.
differently.
This is sort of odd. I mean, I'm sitting in between.
Yeah,
that's a little
weird.
different.
Very weird.
But I do prefer this as opposed to like one of us standing and then like looking this way. Compared to the mic not even being hung on the stupid arm thing. The worst part about like being in the middle of the crossover was like having to do the 180 turn between both of you. Like I felt like I was ignoring Schaefer a lot during the crossover.
I didn't take offense to it.
Well, no, I was looking right at Happer because it was just easier to turn my body to the right as opposed to turning it to the left. And sometimes I would.
So you should be conditioned for this move. You're only going to be looking right now.
Yeah, I still can't see Josh.
Yeah, you're blocked. You're blocked out there.
This moves.
Could I move? We could figure it out.
Yeah,
We're
of course
You could sit in the middle.
You could sit literally wherever you want.
I think I might end up sitting
Actually,
in the middle.
I do believe the middle is where you can't sit because there's no camera that is mounted to it at this point, unless you wanted to use this one, which is possible.
Yeah. Boom, you're in the middle.
Kind of far
figure
away.
it out, but we'll figure it out. I like it. I like it a lot. I like how Schaefer brought up the fact that it's like a apartment transition when I recently just went through an apartment transition.
Do you hate it?
Well, I felt a lot better about my apartment when I moved into it than I feel in moving into here.
Oh, wow.
Like when I moved in my brand new apartment right now, I was like, this is awesome. Like this is 10 times better. And I feel like that's how you feel.
That
about
is
the
exactly
studio.
how I feel. This is 10 times better.
Like I was, when I moved in my new apartment, I was thinking, how did I do that other apartment for so long? You know, and
Same.
now
I did that apartment for 5 years.
And now I'm in my new apartment. I'm like, I don't care that this is it's kind of a pain in the butt to pay way more than what I was paying before. It's
Did you
completely
get your
worth it.
security deposit back?
No, I got nothing.
With these new microphones, you can really hear when you hit the table.
It does sound like it's a different sound, and it's a better sound.
It is a better sound.
It's a better sound. It's without a doubt a better sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little, I don't know how to describe it. It's like more full. It's like me after like eating steak.
I believe
sound to completion.
It sounds to completion.
And it should, for both of you, it should keep you attached to your microphone.
Yes.
Because you can tell when you're not speaking into your microphones.
Did you notice that I've been doing that now on this? Like I could notice when I was like talking over here. Now I'm kind of making out with the microphone.
This is a good thing. This is a good thing.
Matt has to learn.
Oh, look at director of video Nick Grimm is here.
Yeah, that we're 4 minutes in. I don't really care.
Director of not video Josh Hudson says, I don't care. Look at that.
TV.
I'm glad someone does.
Soon enough, we'll have a video camera up on top of the room over there, and it'll be the full scale picture. But right now, here's just a great look at the boys.
We can't have all the features ready to go on day one
Just
because
hanging
then
out.
you wouldn't come back.
You can see we're obviously in a high-rise building, and because we're obviously looking over Dodge Street, which is the greatest street in Omaha. And
the greatest street.
Look at how cool we are.
That does look really good.
I would if
buy
I
a
was
house here?
driving down Dodge Street, I'd be looking into this window. I'd be like, what kind of superstars are in that room right now? Probably amazing, famous people.
Maybe it's Lil Wayne.
Maybe it's Lil Wayne, like I thought when I was listening to Power 106.9 when it was 2008.
I feel like I would be driving too fast on Dodge to look in here.
You
and
wouldn't
see the
even be able to
superstars here.
tell.
No, not really.
The amount of people that
I'm
are like,
just
so
in a-
where's the studio at? And I explain it, and they kind of look at you and like, do you know where Goldberg's is? Like, yeah, I know Goldberg's. Like, it's right next to Goldberg's.
It's just
Like,
above that.
like,
Yeah.
there's a studio there. It's like, yeah, there's a giant satellite. It's never noticed.
Kind of just like settled into the side of a mountain, kind of.
I feel like I'm very ineffective right now just because I'm like, I can't describe how I feel in terms of just being in a brand new space. Like this is a lot for me right now. I'm kind of taking
Listen
it
to
in.
your heart.
No, I like it. It's just different. I'm not a guy. I don't like change. I'm not a big
You seem
change fan.
I
very
hate change.
uncomfortable.
I'm just kind of.
It feels like you're
You don't even seem comfortable with how you're sitting on your chair.
For some reason, a lot of people are just pre-programmed to like dislike things.
Yes, I think I'm kind of pre-programmed to not to
but that's
dislike this.
Yeah, but I think you're just naturally more skeptical of things.
1,000,000%.
Than
I don't
am.
think it has nothing to do with the
I see
studio.
new things. I'm like, ooh, fun.
Honestly, I tell people all the time, like when I am told something, my first instinct is to say
no.
And then it's just
Yeah, that's where you and I are different.
what is the
That
what
is where you're.
what is the varying degree of how much I say no? Like there are times where I say no, and it's just like we're done. We're not even going to talk about this. And then there are times where I say no, but I know deep down I'm just saying no because that's just what I say.
That's what you say.
This is one of those instances where I'm just like I just have to. I feel
Maybe
like
you won't like it. Maybe you'll be begging after a couple months to go back home.
no. If I begged for a couple months to go back home, all of you would look at me and be like, "You are crazy."
Don't do that.
I'm for.
That will not sit well.
I am no. I am for the betterment of the team. Okay, and I don't think I will be saying I want to go back there. I think in time I'll just be like, yeah, this is cool.
Maybe you'd
I
rather
think
do
it'll
your
take
show
you-
from inside that little room in there.
I don't.
We can make
It's
that
a good
happen.
room.
I don't want to be in the little room.
I have a prediction on when Matt will like this studio.
Oh, go ahead.
1:15 this afternoon.
I think it's if we can figure out a way for me to actually look at Josh. I am a little concerned right now with the fact that I can't see.
Would you rather be where Schaefer is?
I
see right there.
Now power's an issue over there in that corner.
Then I won't be able to see the clock.
Can you see Josh now?
The big issue sitting here is that you were blocked out of the actual.
Do you know what would solve this though?
We've talked about it.
Do you know what would solve this? Big clock would allow me to sit over there, look at Josh completely, and know when I have to hit a break.
We thought of something for Big Clock. We're going to get Big Clock, and we're going to set it to military time and see if you freak out at 1 o'clock. So just so you know.
I actually was on military time for a couple of years in college, so I'm very used to it because
you dabbled in military time?
My best friend / roommate was in ROTC. And so how he would talk was in military time. And so when we would have conversations, it would just be easier for me to have.
You just changed your whole life to military time?
Just basically. So when he would say like 1730 or 1800 or like whatever, I would just be like, all right, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
Good to know.
Yeah, I had a roommate who did this, and I just mocked him relentlessly until he started just
say 7 p.m., you idiot.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. Every time.
Mike is truly my best friend, and he's not the type of guy that would take well to me making fun of him about that. So I was just like, I'm just going.
Sounds like he can't be that good of a friend.
I think he's
if
one
you
of,
can't
he's one of
insult
my
him to
best
his
friends.
face about something dumb that he's doing, he's not that good of a friend.
Not necessarily about ROTC. He took ROTC pretty seriously.
So with the current construction, with the current camera shot that we're using, people have realized that if they go into that parking lot there with a sign.
Yep, we've discussed.
Okay.
So there was a lot of that early because people realized when
that sounds like a Sindelar thing, by the way.
The way we had it set up was that stairwell right there is very, and you can't see it on the current view that we're looking at. The stairwell, the emergency stairwell right there was very much, it looked ripe, and we're like, you know what? I don't think anything's actually stopping you from going up there.
I believe there's a gate, but I mean, what's a gate doing really?
Josh, I actually don't think that's true.
Oh, okay.
I don't believe there is. And then Joey just kept saying, "Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that."
Yeah,
which I agree.
Said he was going to come over
that.
during the crossover and stand there, and then.
But I did go out there during one of our breaks to just wave because I thought it would be funny.
We waved back.
If you have a Washington State flag, you could bring it to 50th and Dodge.
That's another joke we made.
Be seen, yeah.
Great jokes. Yeah. Great jokes.
Got to get them all out.
But yeah, please come out and park at that weird, nonsensical parking lot across the street.
What is that?
I don't know. It's a nonsensical parking lot.
No free shout outs, but what business is that?
It's a parking lot for nothing.
No, there is no business connected to that. I think they just have a bunch of empty space and they go.
There's got to be something. There's a couple signs right up at the front of it.
It's probably the people who live right at that house.
Yeah, is that house also a business like a tailor or something? That's a big parking lot for a tailor.
That sounds like
is this parking lot for the office building next door to it?
There's a couple.
Yeah,
it's got to be what it's for.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
we should know our neighbors better than this.
No, I don't go across the street except for Buchanan's.
I'm going to be real with you. I've never seen that sign right there that says a bunch of businesses that are on the other side of the street. I've never looked at that sign.
You get a whole new look at Dodge Street.
I've never.
This is another added advantage to this beautiful studio.
I have a question for you, radio professionals. How many studios now have you done radio shows out?
Like daily?
Yeah, like a daily show.
Mine, I don't think I qualify.
This is only my third.
4?
This would be my 5th.
Mm-hmm.
5th. Be my 5th one.
Can't pin Matt down.
Because KLIN. Then we did 2 in Chicago, and then that one and now this one.
So,
but I wasn't doing daily radio out of there. I was producing.
Well, I was like, however you want to do it, done a show out of like. Probably more than once, I think, would count.
5. And this would probably be 3rd. So it's probably the 3rd best.
I have both 1620s now, counting today's.
Well, yeah, it's better.
Both tickets, 3 Eagles in Lincoln, and then Broadcast House. So I think I'm at, and in Columbus. So I'm at 7.
You are a radio.
And 590. I've done 8.
Whoa.
You be getting around.
That's a body count.
I spend way too much time.
What's your radio body count? It's a crazy question.
Luckily, I've only had 2 wives or whatever.
So is this your third? Is this your third?
It's only my third studio.
That's incredible.
I mean, not like that I've ever done a show from, but
regularly.
I've had a daily show in the state now for 10 years, and this is only my third studio.
God, radio.
10 years, 3 studios.
And you're 34?
I'm 34.
Wow. I feel like I'm looking at my future, but I'm
Get ready for it. I'm pretty cool.
Less clever and way more, skeptical of things. I feel like where I'm at.
You
right
still
now.
look very uncomfortable.
No, I'm gonna have to get used to this. Like I was very comfortable in the old studio. I felt like I could explore the space, I felt like I was.
Now
I
there's
could
too
really,
much space to explore.
What does that mean?
I could just. I don't know. I can move my weight around in that studio.
Doesn't help.
And
this
feel
studio
like,
is bigger.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm in a glass. I feel like I'm cornered. I kind of don't like looking at both of you
Sit right
now.
there then.
This is not going to be good too when you guys.
I will tell you, if you sit here, you'll get blocked out of Josh from this as well.
Like I don't know, like because for the crossovers, it's a lot of you asking me why I do what I do, and then Schaefer, adding on top of it. And now I feel like I'm taking on the wave of it if that were to occur. And I don't know if I want to be in the middle of a Bishop and Peterson sandwich. I feel like that's not a great sandwich to be in between.
Well, I don't think you could sit there for the afternoon crossover.
In the middle?
No, where you're at right now.
No, he's saying he would move to where Connor.
Okay,
I would move where Connor is.
Yeah, that is interesting. That's pretty funny. That's a pretty funny visual.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, this visual is less funny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is like 3 guys hanging out.
You sitting in the middle of John and Josh is really funny, but me sitting in the middle of you two is less funny.
John and Josh have like the biggest adjustment that anybody will make.
Oh,
they've been doing that show for a decade.
It's all you're going to hear about this afternoon.
100%. They have many takes.
They will have no topics.
Now, I will have to admit something. I famously predicted years ago that this day would never, ever happen.
Yeah, time to eat a little crow, Connor.
It is.
You called us a madman.
I don't think you have
Where
to.
Connor got it wrong, it was this. When I started working here 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago, I believe the new boards had arrived. Wow.
Yeah, they were here.
They were here, and there was conversation at the time of like, yeah, we're gonna get new boards soon, and I was like, dope. And that was when I was young and naive, and I thought that was actually going to happen.
Because you use the word dope.
And then after about a year, I was like, hey, I don't think we're getting new boards. Where are those boards? They're like, oh, they're here.
Just a carrot we dangled in front of you for half a decade.
So then it was a conversation about like, oh, it'll happen during the College World Series. And then like 3 College World Series happened.
Yeah,
and it still didn't happen. And then the conversation evolved into, we're going to do a whole new studio. Don't worry, wait. And this was probably what, Josh, 2 years ago? Maybe more?
Yeah.
At this point?
That sounds right.
2 years ago, it was like, yeah, I think we're just going to reshuffle all the studios. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a second because all I have is the history of the lack of the board thing. And then I said, it will never happen. And here we are on July 8th. It has happened.
I think one of the first things you ever told me is that we are not switching to a new studio. I really do think that one of the very early conversations between you and I, because I was brought in here and like week 2 was told, we're going to a new studio.
Oh, yeah.
We are going. And then like every couple of months, it would be reiterated to me, no, this is actually going to happen. And you would look at me and
That's
go,
not bad.
Yeah.
Don't listen to that.
Exactly. And you would go, been here 4 years. Told me the same thing. We haven't moved. And now here we are. Now, I think it hit me that we were actually going to do this when the sweet people moved over to that studio.
I thought that the chances then went up dramatically, but still not even close to like I think 60% for you.
We had an off-air skeptical conversation that we were even going to move at some point this year, like 2 weeks ago. I had. We
a
were just
conversation with
finishing
Josh.
June, and it's like, yeah, we're going to be in the studio through the end of the year.
I was talking to Josh,
but I was wrong about everything.
Before the College World Series. I'm like, they've already moved to the Sweet Studio. Why haven't we moved? Like, why haven't we gone already? And there was a
Mr.
vibe.
3:30 in the morning could probably answer that question.
Crazy, by the way.
I don't know why you're here.
I agree.
I'm dedicated to my craft.
Everybody's dedicated.
I think he's a little like he's kind of like he was talking a lot in our meeting today, like in the office today.
Mm-hmm.
It's unusual when someone's with you and they get words in, is what you're saying?
No. But Josh was cracking a lot of jokes, and I felt like he was kind of like
delirious.
A little bit, yes. I couldn't find the word.
I know. I was going to let you dangle on the hook.
I could not find delirious.
When I stayed overnight at a radio station and changed our board, basically I did exactly because I had Josh's job. We were there until 4:00 in the morning or whatever it was. Went home, had to do a show the next day, and then I think it was the afternoon show, and I got back from a break and I was trying to tell people that it was 4:00 and I said 4:00 and my co-host laughed hysterically, and we did not get off the topic of me calling it 4:00 for about an hour and a half.
Was it snow or tab?
Nice. It was tab.
It was tab.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you drove back to Omaha that night?
No, I was living in Lincoln at the time, so maybe it wasn't tab. Maybe it was somebody else.
Snow then.
Yeah, whatever it was, I was delirious.
Yeah, Josh was talking too much in the office to the point where I thought he was delirious.
Yeah.
Like he cracked.
That's okay.
He cracked about 3 jokes. They all were funny. We had some banner.
That's a good hit rate.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. There are times where we will be in that office and we won't say one word. Like not.
Why would you need to?
And not sometimes.
Nick's could supply
I would
it all.
say 90% of the time we don't say one word until I go, "Hey, how are you?" And Josh goes, "Good,
Mm-hmm.
great, good show, cool, awesome." And we go in here and we have a great time.
That's really, really adorable, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think about that conversation and I have fond memories of the exact same conversation.
The amount of times where Josh just goes, "Hey, you like it? I got it." I'm like, "All right, cool, great."
I have no questions.
I should probably give him more than that.
No, yeah, Josh he will not stop you from going down roads that you want to go down.
I'll tell you this one.
So is that Bill Simmons' mom? Is what you're saying?
Don't go down that road. That's a bad road.
Josh Hodson is the ultimate epitome of quality over quantity.
That's how I feel about the Sixers with Paul George.
Such a great Bill Simmons moment. But when Josh goes, "I love that segment idea. I love that idea. I actually love this topic. I feel good about myself."
It is
because it just doesn't get handed out a lot. I think my dad says "I love you" too much to me. Like he almost always says "I love."
You want it to mean something.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. And I'm like, all right, I get it, But if he maybe pulled back and it was more of a quality thing,
I see what you're saying.
It would feel a little bit deeper.
I don't feel that way with "I love yous" from Dad in particular, but I do understand what you're saying.
I actually came away more impressed with Mom.
You might be the first generation that's ever said that their dad tells them that they love them.
I'm going to tell you right now, my dad
every
says,
generation that came before you,
every single convo, and I'm like, and Mom doesn't. Mom doesn't. My mom does not tell me she loves me.
And you love her more for that?
No.
She was on the radio professing love for you and your brother and your sister.
I'm saying more so growing up. Now that I'm away from the house, she is she
really loves you.
She tells me how much she loves me. When I was in her house every single day, she was Cuban, very rarely. Dad was 24/7. Every comment.
I think that's awesome.
I think it was great too, but I'm just saying in the comparison, it feels a little bit deeper when it doesn't happen as much, which is why I'm saying the radio "I love yous" I get from Josh Hodson aren't often, but they feel great when they happen.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
A little bit. I'm all about the chase.
I agree with this in almost every other circumstance, except for this one.
The example used was so incredible, though.
That's the only one I can think of. I love my father.
There's literal movies and books and television shows on the opposite of this idea.
No, I know. And those, and I am so thankful to not be on the opposite end of that.
I am
for you. So thankful.
So, when you fire off tweets and
who's Tyler Goldsberg or whoever the hell you were tweeting about yesterday?
Tyler Tolbert, the Royal, who tied the MLB record for consecutive at-bats with a hit.
Yeah.
You just kept tweeting about him. Never seen that guy's name before.
He had 12 hits and 12 consecutive plate appearances.
Good for him, man.
And he's Tyler Tolbert. You've never heard of him. That's the point.
That's incredible.
Anyway, so you're firing off tweets.
I am.
And you'll do one, and you could expect that you're gonna get your 4 likes from the 4 people that always like your tweets.
Yes. Yeah,
right?
1,000,000%.
What does that mean to you? Nothing.
It doesn't
Not mean
really.
anything to you.
Yeah.
But what if Connor Happer comes in with a like? Because I don't like very many of your tweets.
No, you don't. I'm like, whoa, that was a good one.
Exactly.
I do feel pretty special when Connor likes a tweet of mine.
I feel about that way with you and Michael Severe. Severe, when I get a Severe like, it's a big deal.
Yeah, because he's muted basically his entire timeline.
But like, Brent Wagner, I love him. But like, he likes all of my tweets.
There you go.
I'm not going crazy because Brent liked my tweets.
He's probably listening to your show right now. Probably stop liking them.
Don't stop liking my tweets, Brent. I need the numbers. I need the engagement.
See, you only go from 3 to 2.
And you need your dad to tell you that he loves you.
Less.
No, all the time. Because if it goes away, then all of a sudden just like, Dad.
No. If it went away, I'd be like, what did I do wrong? I feel like a terrible child.
I'm really proud of you, Matt.
See, if you actually were to like bring me off, and this has happened before in my radio career where somebody did tell me they were proud of me and they had never told me that before. And I was like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Was it someone that meant a lot for that to come from?
Yes, at the time. Yes.
At the time. Okay. Who has he had a falling out with?
There's a long list of people, Josh Hudson. There's a long list.
At the time.
At the time meant a lot. Now I'd be like, all right, cool story, bro.
I assume this person is not at 670 the score.
It's not Danny Parkins.
No, yeah. If Danny Parkins told me he was proud of me, I'd be like, how do you know who I am?
I'm going to do a cameo for Danny Parkins and say, hey, I'll get him to say, hey, Matt McMaster, I'm proud of you.
That I don't know how I would
I know your
react to
dad
that.
tells you this, but I too love you.
I don't. If you got somebody from ESPN 1000 to do it, that'd be very, very fun.
Yeah, what's his name? Yurko?
Yurko.
All right, I'm going to get him.
John Yurkovich. Yeah. That's my guy. I don't think he remembers my name, but I love him.
That's why I got to get him on Cameo.
Exactly. He's going to be like, who's this guy? See, his partner, Carmen, would remember who I am. But I don't think, interns are like, nothing to Yurko. They're like quarters. He just puts them in his pocket and forgets about them.
I remember all my interns.
I've never had an intern. I think that'd be...
Yeah, they don't do that anymore.
I think that'd be a really big
We
step.
really don't do that anymore.
Part-time working. But not like interns.
Yeah, there's no more free help.
I've never been...
You can't work for free.
No.
Well,
which is good.
Which is probably good. Yes.
When I was in college, they were going through like, hey, we're getting to the point where intern season's coming up. And one of the points that they made is like, if it's not a paid internship, it's way worse than it's way worse than a paid internship. Like they were encouraging us not to take unpaid internships.
Oh yeah, everybody says that.
They were like, don't do that. They were like, don't do that at all. And I think
I don't know if that's great advice, but
well, if you got
pretty great advice.
If you got nothing,
you shouldn't give away services
if you have
for free.
no opportunities.
I don't know. I do. Yeah, exactly.
If you had
I think there are
zero.
situations where it can make some sense.
I think if you had zero opportunities, your only opportunity was an unpaid internship, I think it would be better off doing that than doing nothing, in my opinion. But I've never had an internship. I've just had part-time jobs. That's all it's been. And I don't really know anybody in my life in broadcasting life who have had unpaid internships. It's all been I'm saying amongst my class, amongst my graduating class,
no,
and
hell
like
no.
some peers and people around me.
No.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. I'm sure Josh. I'm sure all of the old guard of broadcasting have had unpaid.
Oh, now what? We're the old guard.
I mean, yeah, you
don't love that.
You all come from
I'm
a
in my
different era of
prime. I'm in
radio.
my 30s. I'm a man.
I'm not saying that you're not in your prime. I love you. Okay.
I love you.
Okay, Mike McMaster.
There it
Let's
is.
dial it down a little bit.
There you go. I'm just saying that's like I've come up in a different era of radio than you have.
I don't think it's that.
YouTube, live streaming, Twitter, all this type of stuff. That came through for you. That was a transition for you. That was something that you didn't have previously.
Twitter was not a transition.
Live streaming on Twitter.
Okay.
Live, all these different ways that we disseminate
Can I tell you
our
something?
product.
It doesn't make any difference.
I think the game's changed a little bit. You don't think the game's changed at all from once you started radio?
Shows the exact same
Game's
way.
the same. It just got more fierce.
I think that
The fact
a lot.
that you
I think
can
a
find
lot.
us in more places is nice.
I think a lot. I would disagree with that. I think that the game has changed in the last 12 years since you've started radio compared to now, and I've kind of just started my radio career.
I haven't changed a single thing.
Really?
I've gotten better at it, I think.
Yeah, obviously.
I do.
Ooh, that reminds me.
But I'm saying that the landscape of radio has changed, Happer, in the last 12 years.
That's true. You can find us in more places.
And there are things that you did 12 years ago that you may not know, that we did as a whole radio society in terms of maybe culture or whatever it might be.
Oh, like jokes about things? I don't think that's true. I wasn't making insensitive jokes.
You don't think the environment of radio has changed at all in the last 12 years? Even with the dawn of YouTube and Twitch and streaming?
What are we talking about? Are we talking about the things that you can and can't say on the radio?
I think I'm talking about the entire entity of it. I'm talking about the entire scope of things.
Well, of course. Exactly. Like I said, you could find us in more places.
12 years ago, we could have totally made fun of that girl at Ole Miss who slept with her boyfriend's dad.
I don't know. I don't know.
She made some money.
But she didn't do that.
Yeah.
She did not do
Allegedly.
that. She did not do that. She did not do that.
I was not making. I try not to make any insensitive jokes.
You've never been that way. I'll give you credit for that.
Yeah.
You've never,
unless tortillas are involved.
Unless it's about the guy. Yeah. Unless it's about the.
I thought it was pronounced tortillers.
I probably
grillers.
I probably make a lot of insensitive jokes that you probably would have been more okay with making 12 years ago compared to now.
I don't know. That's where I don't know that I agree with you. I'm not sure that we've gone that far in that category. This is radio. This is where the dudes are.
I think I've bordered the line. I think I've pushed the envelope at times in terms of jokes that there are whole segments we do that are about pushing the envelope.
We're also the most progressive show
we
on
are
1620
also the
The
most
Zone.
progressive show on
I
1620
educate you on women throughout pop culture.
That's not
history.
a joke. That is the truth. We are the most progressive show.
Yeah, the truth.
People call me Matt McLib. I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, you're definitely that.
How'd you get through there and not
You're
get
a
shot?
giant lib.
A massive lib.
Yeah.
The biggest.
If I know
lib you've
anything
ever
about
met.
24-year-olds in this day and age, they're all libs.
That's the crossover.
You got us that hat from MSNBC yesterday. Thanks.
Hey, can I say one more thing? Can I say one more thing? So I went to Hy-Vee yesterday, and
You saw somebody with that same hat? No, you didn't.
I went to Hy-Vee yesterday.
You were still wearing the hat.
And I almost did this, but it would be very bad if I did. I thought about it after I got out of the car. You know how there's those spaces for wounded veterans? I almost put that hat in the dashboard.
Instead of I don't have a placard. I don't have a handicap parking pass.
What are they going to do? That's as good of a proof as I can have.
Nobody would say a thing.
Nobody would say anything.
Nobody would say one thing. The best part is you totally could have gotten away with it. You totally could have gotten away with it.
And you think he's changed.
That's the crossover.
Thank you.
Powered by America 250 here on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV News Watch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
At Host Coffee, every cup of coffee served comes with a promise. A promise of quality, innovation, and a dash of fun. Ensuring your workday is as delightful as your coffee break. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Hey, neighbor. Oh, my gosh. Is your energy bill sky high again, too?
Not anymore. My old windows were so leaky, it was as if I had a window open while my AC was running. So I replaced them with Champion windows.
Champion windows. Do you like them?
Like them. I love them. And they're guaranteed for a lifetime. They made the whole process easy. I just went online and booked my free estimate all by myself. And I got a great deal where I could buy 2 replacement windows and get 2 free.
A lifetime guarantee and buy 2 windows and get 2 free? Does that mean if I need 8 windows, I can buy 4 and get 4 free?
Sure does.
What if I buy 6? Do I get 6 free?
Yep.
Or if I get 10 windows, do I get 10 free?
Just call Champion Windows already.
If your windows are drafty, ugly, or broken, now is the best time to replace your home's windows with new Champion Windows. Book your free estimate online at championsavenow.com or call 877-GO-CHAMPION right now. All discounts apply to our regular prices. Select styles apply. Minimum purchase required. Cannot be combined with other advertised offers. See store or website for details.
Hello, I'm Ozempic, and I'm other GLP-1s, kind of like him. Hey, are you shaking a maraca? No, I'm shaking the pill version of Ozempic, which no one should ever do except in ads like this. A nice disclaimer. Hey, thanks. Ask your doctor about which FDA-approved uses of the Ozempic pen or pill may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide tablets, 9 milligrams, and Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams.
There's a pill version of Ozempic.
In the military, the mission was clear. You knew what to do. Now, the mission has changed. Stepping into civilian life isn't about finding a job. It's finding your purpose.
I wanted a career that would leverage the skills and discipline I gained in the military. IT just felt right.
My Computer Career offers class schedules that fit into your life and skills in high demand. Put your VA benefits to work. Visit mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to jumpstart your IT career today. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Trained to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted. Sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill serves pizza with an unforgettable pizza sauce and unique combinations of bold flavors. Try customer favorites like the Crab Ragoon Pizza, Mountain Man, or the Upset Grizzly Bear. There are daily specials and menu items like tacos, salads, wings, and burgers. Stop in and check out Timber Creek's family-friendly dining environment while enjoying a popular adult beverage. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill at 178th and Harrison and at timbercreekpizzaomaha.com.
Prairie Flower Casino gives you more. More ways to play with 600 slot machines, sportsbook, and live table games, plus market-exclusive bonus spin extreme progressive and battle 1, 2, 3. And there's more to enjoy every evening at Sky Bar and Grill with great food, cold drinks, wall-to-wall sports, and the friendly service you love. Play longer, win more at Prairie Flower Casino, just minutes north of downtown Omaha. Must be 21. Please bet responsibly.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
Does it smell a little bit skunky in this room now?
Uh-oh, what happened?
Connor?
No.
No, that's a different smell.
Thank you. You would know.
Am I the only one that thinks that it?
You are.
I'm like right under this thing, and it feels like.
So I'm glad that you've noticed this now.
I think I got a whiff.
I'm glad that you've noticed this now, Schaefer, that you have walked a mile in these shoes. You've sat here. I've long said that this seat that I'm sitting in and the seat that you're sitting in, and really the seat that Joey is sitting in, are really three different climates entirely. It's like you're sitting in three different.
Very hot where you're at.
Very hot because you're right underneath the deal, and for some reason it gets shut. I'm sitting in a space where, for some reason, there's no airflow whatsoever.
None. Are they worried about the skunks over at show tonight? Isn't that part of Skunkville over there?
Well, I'm sure they.
This area and the skunks. I'm sure you never noticed this.
I'm sure they're cleared off.
What's the deal? I didn't know about Dundee being a skunk.
Well,
town.
when we drive in the morning, we'll smell skunks on the way, especially on Farnham when we get on from Dodge. It's happened several times.
I mean, I smell skunks.
I mean, they're nocturnal animals, so they'll be out at night.
You seemed surprised when I brought this up, like when I first started working here, and I commented on how it smelled skunky most mornings.
So I feel like you guys are trying to convince me that I can't smell skunks. I can't.
I'm just using your own word.
So what you're trying to tell me is that there are more skunks in Dundee?
I definitely smell skunks more here than I do out where I live or where I spend the bulk of my time.
Really?
Yeah.
Just the smell is noticeable.
I
don't know how many skunks are there.
Every skunk I've ever morning, and I'm not expecting this skunk smell.
Every skunk I've ever smelled is
random. It's just in a random place. You know? Oh, there goes the skunk smell.
Happer and Schaefer, weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone.
This is the Chef of Love, Chef Jannard, TV host and restaurateur. My grandparents harvested their land to sell food and share this overflowing bounty with our community. Grandma said, for every yam we pick, we give one away. In the world they cultivated, I love preparing and eating dinner with my family on Sundays. When our resources changed, food assistance programs sustained us. They gave me fuel to start my first culinary business at 16 years old, and inspiration to donate the extra food in my community. Through my life, I've developed an appetite to work with others to ensure everyone has access to the nutritious food we need to thrive. Together, we can help end hunger. Come on, join the movement with Feeding America by volunteering, donating, and advocating. Learn more at feedingamerica.org/act now.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people. Whose car are we gonna take?
I have a lot of things I want to get off my chest.
That's an absolutely horse crap call. Make room for Daddy. But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook. Chicago is.
This is Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Middays Matt live and rolling in the brand new 1620 The Zone Radio Network studios. As always, 50th and Dodge, but we have moved over to the left. Everything that 1620 The Zone now owns is in a studio to the left. To the left. Great song, by the way. Maybe she'll perform on our show today later.
Good Get Us.
Incredible Get Us. Matt McMaster, Josh Hodson here on 1620 The Zone AM in Omaha, 97.7 The Zone in central Nebraska. Josh, how are you doing? Everybody's asking me how I like the new studio. Do I prefer the new studio? How do
you
like
got to acquiesce to the talent.
No, you are the talent.
That's not good for us.
You are it, baby. You couldn't buy it. You couldn't sell it if you wanted to. Come on.
I think I'm good. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you? I'm a little bit of a fish out of water right now. Here's the thing, though. In terms of people who have like the most validity in terms of like complaining or being like, oh, I feel weird about this, or it's like I'm so uncomfortable. I'm the last person because I've spent the least amount of time in that studio. You can probably make the argument I've spent less time than Mike Schaefer if you count up all the years that Schaefer has come in and subbed in and all that kind of stuff. So I probably don't have a ton of credibility to be like, I feel weird right now. It's just a new setting for us, but I think it's awesome. It looks great. Shout out to you. You were here very late. Shout out to Nick Grimm. Shout out to all of the people who helped put this thing together. They did an absolutely incredible job. And frankly, it's only going to get better. This is version 1 of what the studio is going to look like. I'm incredibly excited to see as we continue to do work on it and continue to add more elements to it, what the final form is going to be. But as it currently stands right now, it feels awesome to be in here. And once again, kudos to everybody who put the work in to make this move. It's not easy. Even though people might think it is, it's not easy to move a studio, to move a radio station, a completely different studio in the middle of the week, which is quite the feat. You were up very late. I'm very happy that you are here. You are the best, so appreciate you. Josh Hodson and Nick, everybody else who helped us. Going to be a great show today. We're going to have a ton of fun today. We're going to get used to this surroundings. If you don't already watch us on the Zone TV YouTube page, I encourage you to do so. It looks better than ever. The background, I know we're going to probably get a backdrop at some point, but the fact that you can just see cars moving behind me and you can just see all the action going on, I don't know. There's a charm to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It makes us look like we're, in the thick of it, I guess. I don't know.
that we're in like the real world.
If you're going to have a building on Dodge Street, use Dodge Street, right?
This is kind of weird for me right now to be able to look you right in the eyes.
I've worked here for like 5 years and I've never seen the host of the show.
The fact that I could see your mouth move, it's a little bit uncomfortable. Should we put a screen?
A shower curtain.
We should put a shower curtain in between us because
for old time's sake.
I feel like now, like when we were back in the old studio, because you had a screen in front of you, I was always looking at you to kind of like peer through. But now that you're right in front of me, I feel like I'm going to be looking at my computer screen more. I don't know. It's just like you're Medusa. Like I don't want to be able to look you right in the eyes.
I'll turn you to stone, baby. I don't know. I didn't have anything. I was up till 3:30.
Do you have brown eyes?
I do.
I've always thought you had like blue eyes.
You didn't even know what color eyes I had.
I'm going to be real with you. No, I did not. I typically don't look into another man's eyes a whole lot. Except if you're Connor Happer, you can get lost in Connor Happer's eyes.
Pools,
cerulean blue eyes, just absolutely incredible.
Excellent vocab word, Matt.
You know what? I try my best to be an educational program here on 1620 The Zone. Everybody knows it. We're the most progressive show here. We don't just say that to say that. We're always pushing things forward, right? We're always with the times, and the times now call for us to be in this new studio. Let's go to the YouTube chat. People are, I think, Doug in Idaho is always mean to me, so I'm not going to take his credit, but he goes,
don't take criticism from anyone you wouldn't take advice from.
See, the thing is that I do take advice from my haters, though. Like my haters will give me critiques and I will take them.
It can absolutely help.
Unless they're stupid. And then I tell Brian that we're going to talk about the news and then Brian gets all mad about it. I don't know. I'm sure.
Sometimes the news is maddening.
We have a new rule. I know. I can't
Don't hit the
that.
table.
Sorry.
That's the new rule.
I have a new rule. We are the APA. Okay.
Are you Bradshaw or Farouk?
I'm Bradshaw.
Okay.
I think it would be.
Damn.
Yes, exactly. If you are going to walk into our studios from here on out, okay, you have to knock on the door. Okay. Everybody knows the APA. They would sit up in the backstage.
Everybody knows.
They would have their door. And even though you could walk around the door, they wouldn't acknowledge you unless you knocked on the door. If you're going to walk into the studio from here on out, you have to knock. Okay.
Okay.
You have to knock and you will come in. And if you don't knock, if you just barge on in here, do you know what Josh and I are going to do? We will tell you to knock on the door. Okay. That's the new rule. I've been inspired by, I was watching old Dwayne The Rock Johnson clips.
He often hung out with the APA.
And Farouk was giving him advice, which is why it's spawned to me to tell you that we are now the APA.
Former Nation of Domination cohorts.
The one where he's telling him he's so proud. There's some moment, right?
Yeah.
You know, that was like Josh Otson telling me he likes a segment. It really meant a lot to The Rock at the time.
I'm hoping to like 11 segments
am
today.
Am I the great one of 1620 Zone? Some people are asking. Your wife is in the chat.
Hi, wife.
I'm not a fan of the natural light coming in. Now, everyone watching on YouTube can see my producer, Josh. He's mine.
Oh, possessive wife today.
Well, you look hot. She's saying you look sexy.
No, I'm
5 hours of sleep has never looked better on any man.
It was less than 5.
How many hours of sleep did you get? How many hours of sleep are you regularly getting?
How many am I regularly getting?
Yeah.
6, maybe 7 on a good day.
Okay, that's fine.
I got about 4.
Can't do that regularly. That's not good for you. People brag about not sleeping a lot. That's not a brag.
No, don't brag about
You're
that.
dying, okay? You have to sleep. Your body has to recover. I used to get 2 to 4 hours of sleep every day.
2 to 4?
That's what happens when you work on the morning show. It was not good. My QOL, my quality of life, has totally improved just by the fact that I just get more sleep every day. It's absolutely incredible. Charles goes.
Hi, Charles.
First off, Doug goes, Matt looks tiny. His mom will think he's lost weight, so that's good.
That's what it's all about.
No, it's not all about that. All right. I would just like to lose weight. Charles goes, so he doesn't take advice from the screen. Odson is the sexiest of all radio producers who've run a mayoral campaign.
That's facts. I don't know that Nick or Joey have ever ran a mayoral campaign. Dan strikes me as the guy that would.
Oh, good luck with that, Dan.
Yeah. like small town.
No, Dan
Wisconsin,
looks like a campaign manager.
Michigan. Yeah.
Like Dan looks like the assistant to the campaign manager in an Apple TV TV series. Like he looks.
It's actually a really good poll by you.
He looks like the guy that's like Tina Fey's assistant in like some sort of mayoral campaign, type deal.
Like Tony Hale's character on Veep, where she would lean over and go, "Who's this bozo?" And
yeah.
He would tell her the name of every person she's about to meet.
That's what they did that bit at the when she won an Emmy.
Ah, that's right.
That's
yes,
one of the great speeches at the Emmy. Would it surprise you that I love watching award speeches?
I think you like it more than me, and I really enjoy it. Yeah,
I love award shows. I will sit down and watch every single award show. And now this chat today is ridiculous. Nathan goes, Matt lost weight. Doug goes, no, it's just an optical illusion.
We put Vaseline on the cameras. That's what I was doing here until 3 a.m.
Yeah, it'd be great if we actually got cameras that took weight off of you. Typically, the camera adds 15 pounds, is what I've been telling people.
You've been telling them 15, huh? Interesting.
It's a lot more than
normally that saying's 10.
Oh, is it 10? I don't know. I just go off of what's more realistic. Let's talk about sports today. How about that?
Sports. Interesting.
Because here's the thing. The afternoon show, rightfully so, by the way, they've done the same show in that old studio for a decade. They are going to spend a ton of time talking about the new studio and feeling like a fish in water, or a fish in mayonnaise, as my aunt would say.
Whoa.
It's a different one. Annie knew she was wrong, but that's what she would say. She's from Kansas. Can't explain it. I love it. Anyway, we will not try. We're just going to act normal. We're just going to act like this is what we do every day. We're going to act like this isn't a new studio. I'm going to act like I always am able to look at Josh Hodgson right in the face all the time. And it definitely isn't weird and kind of bugs me out a little bit that I get eye-to-eye contact right now with my producer.
I'm going to try not to look you in the eye.
Don't you dare look me in the eye.
I know that was in your contract.
Isn't it incredible, though, that we talked about for months and months and even in your case, years, about how the fact that we can't look each other, like you can't be able to talk to your actual host in the eye because of the screens that are in front of you. And now that we actually get this opportunity, we are now being like, we have to look away from each other. I'd be pissed if I was in management. I'd be like, these sons of guns, all they complained about for years was that they couldn't see each other. And now they can't see each other and they don't want to see each other. That's why we have faces for radio and not for TV. Let's talk. Look, everybody knows I spent way too much time on the Brendan Sorsby thing, okay? And not your time. I didn't spend too much of the listeners' time. I spent too much of my time reading about it and, going through lawsuits and reading litigation and studying up on it because I found it fascinating. I now have found a new Sorsby, okay?
The new Sorsby.
As John Oliver once said very famously, the famous saying is, don't find out how the sausage is made. This is my sausage. This is my new Sorsby. College football jersey patches.
Patches are the new Sorsby.
I can't stop reading about them. I can't stop reading about deals. I can't stop. I did research on NBA jersey patches. I did research on NHL jersey patches. I went back and looked at, I read like 4 different Sport Business Journal articles, all by Ben Portnoy, detailing different jersey patches and what they're being paid for, what the deals are. Culver's in Wisconsin, Oklahoma Skates jersey patch, Michigan Skates jersey patch. Kansas has now gone ahead and they have announced today that with a crypto company that they have a jersey patch on their jerseys. We'll talk about that in regards to Nebraska. You'll see where we'll get there, how we will get there. I got into an argument today with roommate Dan about the Big 12 and their deal with Monster Energy. Dan had a great point. I was more educated on the topic, so I kind of alpha him low key. What? I was more educated than him. Did
you mog him?
I low key mogged him in our group chat today. Quinn knows. Quinn's in our chat. Quinn knows that I mogged him in the group chat today.
Oh, Quinn wants a Mick shout out. He says, "Tell Matt I say Mick hi."
Yes. Quinn's one of my dear friends. And he now just always talks to me in Mix. That's all he
good bit.
That's
Quinn.
all he talks to me and texts me. He just everything's a Mick. Quinn goes, "You Mick big dogged him, Mick Matt." or just Matt. He's been calling me McMatt a lot too recently. But we'll talk about jersey patches. We'll also buy, sell, hold, or bet today. We are going east and south.
East and south.
Southeast.
Southeast Conference?
Clemson and South Carolina is where we will be today, talking about the Tigers, talking about the Gamecocks, talking about, is Shane Beamer going to get things back on track?
The Palmetto State.
For SC. Is that what South Carolina is?
Yeah, I just looked it up.
I've been to South Carolina. I went to Hilton Head, South Carolina.
I've been to Charleston. Beautiful.
Dude, South Carolina, underrated state. Top 8 most underrated states.
Oh, wow.
South Carolina, 8.
8?
No, I'd go 4.
Okay. I haven't been to a lot of places, so I don't know what's rated or underrated.
I think Ohio would be 7. There's more going on in Ohio than you think. Cincinnati isn't bad at all. Columbus is a great town people enjoy. You ever been on to Dayton's campus? It's actually quite wonderful.
Oh, yeah. You're a big Dayton household.
I am a big Dayton household. I think
right.
Ohio would be 7th in terms of most underrated cities. You got Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Columbus. How many more states have 3 big enough cities to house all of those different professional sports teams? It's quite impressive. So we'll talk about some jersey patches. We will talk about the Gamecocks. We'll talk about the Clemson Tigers. Creighton, we're going to have a whole Creighton Blue Jay discussion today. The host
Roll Jays
of Blue Jay Overtime will have a discussion with the program director of what is the home of the Creighton Blue Jays. We'll have a conversation with Jon Walker. It was open practice season yesterday. It was the first practice of the second half of summer workouts for Creighton men's basketball. Alan Huss discussed some things yesterday. The team had, drills and scrimmages and whatnot. There was a outstanding player, Jon Walker of the Omaha World Herald, will join us at 11 o'clock to talk about some of his observations at Creighton men's basketball practice yesterday. He also published a phenomenal article on the Omaha World Herald detailing all of his observations. So we'll have a discussion there with Jon Walker. We'll also talk about some more Big East things. John Rothstein released his Big East preseason rankings. We'll also talk about Creighton's non-con schedule. How difficult is it really? And do they need it to be as difficult as it's been? Because the Big East might actually be great this year. The Big East might actually be really good.
Whoa.
Providence has a ton of talent. Xavier could take a next step. Villanova's back at it. You can't think that Marquette and Creighton are just going to be in the cellar for years and years to come. And how can we forget about DeHall? DePaul got a DeHall this year. All the Big East honks are counting on DePaul to make a big jump this year. The Big East could be quite good. We'll talk about that. We'll also discuss Ari Wasserman's top 10 Big Ten quarterbacks.
Whoa.
A disgrace to list is what it was.
A disgrace?
It was a disgrace.
Wow.
We'll also talk some NFL things as well. I found an interesting article on CBS Sports. CBS Sports also wrote about the new site for the expansion, what the new sites could be for the expansion of the NCAA tournament. Was Omaha mentioned? We'll talk about that as well. We have a lot of bases to cover here, but our first base will be with Jon Walker here on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank were neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
At Early Bird Brunch, value means giving you a brunch experience that's anything but ordinary. Step into our modern diner and taste chef-inspired dishes that turn classics on their heads, like the completely unique hash hole, the AM pot pie, and of course, pancakes and omelets, but with an early bird twist. Brunch isn't just for Sundays. Early riser or late sleeper. Come in any day and discover what brunch can be. Early Bird Brunch. Not your everyday brunch. Every day. Earlybirdbrunch.com.
Broadmoor at Heartwood Preserve, Omaha's most up-and-coming community, is now leasing. Choose from studio, 1, 2, and 3-bedroom apartment homes featuring timeless style and exceptional attention to detail. With elevated interiors, upscale amenities, and an unmatched social scene right outside your door, each feature is crafted for ultimate comfort, convenience, and sophistication. Whether you're unwinding at home or enjoying all the vibrant community has to offer, every day is sure to feel like a getaway. Visit broadmoor.cc today to make Heartwood Preserve home.
It's easy to see the common signs of transmission trouble.
If your engine revs before it falls into gear. If it seems to switch gears for no reason.
If shifts are rough, lurching, or clunking.
So watch for the signs.
Because catching it early could mean repair instead of replacement.
And if you do need transmission work, be sure to call.
Certified Transmission, the job done right at the right price.
Find a location near you at certifiedtransmission.com.
Rock fans, this one's for you. The Rolling Stones are back with the brand new album Foreign Tongues out July 10th. Experience powerful new songs, timeless rock and roll, and the unmistakable sound that has defined generations. From the band that helped shape rock history, don't miss your chance to pre-order today. Visit therollingstonesshop.com now and secure your copy of Foreign Tongues before the official release.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ziprecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ziprecruiter.com/radio. ziprecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of acid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Truck drivers know the road, but they also know how important it is to get home. At Liquid Trucking, you don't have to choose between the two. Our drivers enjoy consistent home time with weekly schedules you can count on. We also pay by the hour with reliable weekly pay you can depend on. Drivers can earn $95,000 to $105,000 in their first year, with opportunities for bonuses and extra pay. If you're a CDLA driver looking for dependable home time and strong pay, apply today at liquidtrucking.com.
I'm Omaha Athletic Director Adrian Dow, and I want to introduce you to 3 Omaha schools that are playing a vital role in keeping our community strong. We serve nearly 600 pre-K through 8th grade students, most of whom come from disadvantaged neighborhoods. These students receive a values-based education with the family support they need. I'm a proud member of the CUES Fund Board, which supports the CUES school system. To learn more, go to CUES Schools, that's CUES schools.org.
Use Polymarket to trade the World Soccer quarterfinals. Delete that sportsbook app that's robbing you and join the millions using Polymarket. Polymarket is a prediction market, not a sportsbook. You trade against other fans, not the house. Polymarket, your go-to prediction market for soccer's biggest stage, available in all 50 states. Download the Polymarket app, use promo code FOX to unlock $50 free for your first trade. That's promo code FOX. Trading not available in all jurisdictions. Check local regulations before trading. Restrictions and eligibility apply.
Happer and Schaefer on 1620 The Zone.
So I got a text out of nowhere yesterday at noon that said, I'm planning to make spaghetti with meat sauce for dinner tomorrow. You should come over. And I was like, interesting.
I remember seeing this.
First of all, if this is a spam text, we have advanced.
Wow.
this is a good thing.
This is a type of spam trap that could be set for you.
You should come over. I'm making spaghetti with meat sauce. And so I wanted to investigate a little bit further. And so I said, I just respond, okay? I said, whoa. And then the response said this: hey, Samantha, this is Judy. I'm using my business number. And I said, oh. And then Judy said, question mark? And then finally I said, Judy, your spaghetti sounds amazing.
Happer and Schaefer, weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone.
When your car is making a strange noise, no matter what it is, you can't just pretend it's not happening.
That's an interesting sound.
It's like your mental health. If you're struggling and feeling overwhelmed, it's important to do something about it. It can be as simple as talking to someone in your community, or just taking a deep, calming breath when you need it. Nice. For mental health resources, check out loveyourmindtoday.org. At loveyourmindtoday.org, you'll find information that may help you get through a tough time. Things like tips for dealing with stress, how to navigate difficulties like financial worries, anger, substance use, and more. You can also find real stories of how people navigated their own mental health challenges. Because once you start to address the problem, you can go so much further. Visit loveyourmindtoday.org. That's loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone. He's from the third largest village in the world, Skokie, Illinois. Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, I have a big complaint about the new studio. Do you know what would be a great way to make a lot of people mad? The intro of every segment, I have a complaint about the studio. That's
some
one
of us
them.
were here very late and worked very hard on this new studio. I loaded drinks into the fridge.
It's too. I just don't like how far it is.
Well, that can move. It's not fixed to the table.
Oh my God, it's moving.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Whoa, what's going on? Okay,
there's all sorts of buttons on this. There's like a box for our headphones now that we've never had before.
This is incredible. Okay, well, I can move that. Then you know what? Complaint rescinded. I'm willing to put my hand up and say that was a bad one. That was a bad one. Dude, it was not a bad one. It's Jon Walker. He's a great one. He's a phenomenal writer for the Omaha World Herald, who had a bunch of observations and takeaways from Creighton men's basketball, their first practice of the second half of their summer workouts. We are 116 days away from the start of college basketball season. Isn't everybody counting down to the start? Jon Walker, how are you feeling? Only 116 days away. Isn't it just right around the corner, my friend?
Yeah, it certainly is. I was talking to somebody at Creighton practice yesterday and was just like, oh, so, what does the rest of July look like for you guys? And this, that, and the other. And then I was like, wait, we're like 4 weeks away from fall sports starting practice, which just sounds absolutely insane. And
Yes.
then, as you guys know, the first few weeks of football season, at least selfishly speaking, the first few weeks of college football season will take us right into college basketball buildup. So it'll be here before we know it. It's just nuts, man. 116 days away from opening night.
We're only 4 weeks away from being 5 weeks away from the beginning of the college basketball season. Is basically what you just described, and I absolutely love it. Let's talk about some of your takeaways from yesterday's practice. We can work through it. You wrote a great article, my man. Credit to you. Let's kind of go through, how much you want to detail. I don't want to give away your full article. I want people to go to omaha.com and I want them to read it. But let's just start with kind of what the big headline has been. Wes Enos has everybody on Twitter was talking about, everybody who was basically there from a media perspective, we're talking about just how intense he was, how good he looked, how he's knocking down shots everywhere. The transfer from South Florida, obviously, when Creighton acquired him, it was a big deal. Your takeaways from his play in yesterday's practice?
Yeah, now, before we really dive into this, and I probably should have put it somewhere in the notebook, it's July.
Yes.
So everything changes once the ball goes up and playing time shifted and you lose a couple of games and, you're sitting there in December trying to calculate how many games you have to win to have a solid resume headed into Big East play. But with that caveat out of the way, Wes Enos looked really damn good yesterday. Now, to be clear, they didn't do a lot of live stuff. It was about a 90-minute practice. I'd say the first 60 minutes, if not the first 70 minutes, were like drill work. But they did go live toward the end. And, yeah, Wes Enos was kind of like what Creighton needs him to be, will need him to be this winter. Just unrelentingly fearless with the ball in his hands. Like there was one point that Jackson McAndrew got switched on to him and he hit a snatchback and splashed a three and over Jackson's outstretched arm. And it's like, whoa. Because it's one thing to sit and watch South Florida games from last year. And it's another to sit and look at all of the numbers that Wes Enos put up at South Florida and in his 2 years in Division II. But to then see it in person is like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was just one example. Like I have another good example in the notebook today of just the fire that he brings. I think that was one of my biggest takeaways, basketball aside, just the fire, the competitiveness that this group will have. I asked 3 different Creighton assistants what their biggest takeaway, what they liked about the group so far, what their biggest takeaway was. And all 3 of them mentioned the competitiveness. And Alan Huss had mentioned that in previous interviews over the past 6 weeks, that yes, Creighton lacked a little bit of that tenacity last year.
Yeah.
I don't think that will be an issue this winter. Now, again, it is only July. It was a practice. But, if Wes Enos is going to hit the deck and dive for a loose ball and then talk his stuff at a practice in July, then I have a hard time believing that he wouldn't do that in December, in January, and for this team's purposes and goals in March. So, yeah, I just think that this group is inherently going to have a little bit more fire. And that'll be different. Not that Creighton didn't compete last year, but we saw it quite a few times, guys, where Creighton would get punched and be down 10.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of it. That was the game. Sometimes they'd come back. We saw all of those heroic comebacks at home, but there were games certainly where Creighton would get punched and didn't respond. And I just don't think the fire is going to be an issue with this group, largely because of what I saw yesterday and in the accounts of all the people I talked to.
You wrote in your article, I'm going to quote it here, late in the 90-minute practice, Huss challenged his guys. I am. It's a great article. You go, late in the 90-minute practice, Huss challenged his guys to turn up the intensity. They were at or 1. He said, even though it's July, they needed to be around a 6. It's a great quote. Put it flawlessly in your article. You weren't at High Point, right? You didn't see him as a head coach. You saw him last year in these same capacities, but he was the head assistant. What are the differences you saw yesterday between Alan Huss, the assistant coach of practice, and now Alan Huss, the head coach of practice?
That's a good one. And truthfully, I would tell you, not much different. And I think that's an indictment on Greg McDermott as much as it is Alan Huss, because Mac always kind of let his assistants take the reins on practice. He would step in and he would intervene when need be. But for the most part, Mac put that much faith in his staff. And so Huss was really kind of running the show. Not running the show is probably not entirely accurate, but Huss had a very, very, very large hand in running practices last year and the game plans and this, that, and the other. I mean, of course he did, right? We all know that by now.
Yeah.
And so that was no different. Huss was still kind of like, again, bringing the intensity. I mean, he's asking guys to be at a 6. It's July. You know what I mean? So he's like setting the table. So I don't know if I've seen much difference, to be honest. And I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. It was earnestly just kind of a product of the situation. Because Huss has that edge about him. Like, if you do it well, it's not good enough. And that's kind of the like excellence you have to demand of yourself, have to demand of your players. I also put it in that notebook. There were a couple of times that he stopped the same drill to show a guy how to properly screen, the efficient footwork to screen. And it's like, he could have stopped it once, and the second time it wasn't right. He could have just flipped out or whatever. And he didn't. They stopped it to make sure that it was right. So that, you know, when you get into the dog days of the Big East season in late January, early February, that has been hammered into your brain, into your footwork since July. And yeah, so I think that was a pretty good example of just the excellence that he will demand out of this group and all of his teams at Creighton. Because by all accounts, that's the same demeanor he carried himself with at High Point. And I don't expect that to change now that he's at his alma mater.
I know, obviously, like coming off of a disappointing season last year, and you're trying to remedy the problems you had last season with kind of the same things you did the season before, which is, you know, bringing in a lot of new guys and a lot of new pieces from the transfer portal, right? And so I think that's the biggest storyline heading into the year is like, are you going to be able to remedy what the problems were by kind of doing what might have caused some problems? You know, that's a discussion we're going to have a lot heading into this season. But let's talk about another storyline below that. Is the thing that you're going to be talking about a lot, and the thing that you might be focusing on a lot, is the backup center position?
Yeah, probably. I'll write a little bit more about that. I'm going to tip my hand here, and that's okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll be over at omaha.com.
It's called a tease, John. It's called a tease.
Yes. So I didn't mention Jason Green much in that notebook. We talked to him yesterday. Last night when I was writing the notebook, I was like, I could throw Jason Green stuff in here. And then I was like, man, this guy, I could just write a whole story about. So I'm going to have a Jason Green story in the next couple of days. And then I didn't mention much about the backcourt, despite us talking to BJ Davis for the first time yesterday, because I'm kind of going to do like a backcourt breakdown / analysis, I believe over the weekend. So yeah, like that'll all come, but that is probably one of the most important pieces. And I mentioned it in the notebook is because Oswin Arunse last season at Providence was whistled for the most fouls in the Big East. And we've talked about it before, Matt. What good is an elite rim protector if he's on the bench?
Yeah.
And I believe that Alan Huss, who has a history developing bigs, previously worked with Ryan Kalkbrenner, I have reason to believe that he will help Oswin Arunse work on his verticality without fouling. However, it's an issue until it isn't, right? Like, it's an issue until Oswin Arunse shows us that he can avoid foul trouble. And so that will unfold over the season. But the fact of the matter is you have to have a plan in place at backup center for when he, one, is in foul trouble, if that's the case, or two, simply needs a breather. And so who is that? Is that freshman Trayvon Carter-Givens? Is it JUCO product Wesley Rosa? They are both towering. I think Wesley 7'2" and Trayvon 6'10". He would largely benefit from a year in the weight room, Matt. Again, just a towering frame, but it needs filled out a little bit. It's a bit wiry. And that is this is a whole different conversation for another time. That's where the 5-5 gets really interesting, because in theory you'd say, okay, we're going to redshirt Trayvon Carter-Givens, let him spend a year in the weight room with Jeremy Anderson. He'll come back and be better and ready to contribute in 27, 28, right? But that's not the case anymore. And so it's like, can he be skilled enough to overcome the wiry frame? Time will tell. And the same with Wesley Rosa, who's trying to, again, adjust to high major Division I basketball. I would think at this point in time that the backup center is probably like Jason Green.
Yeah.
Depending on the matchup.
Wow.
So we'll see. That's certainly one main storyline to track, though, throughout the rest of the summer. And of course, over the season, is what does Creighton do behind Oswin Arunse? Because the Jays locked down their rim protector for the foreseeable future with Oswin. What do you do behind him?
Yeah.
We'll certainly find out.
You know, I've been coming on, you came on the morning show when I was, doing that, and now you've come on this show. You've stuck with us, and now we've been talking about the Jays for basically the last 2 seasons. And a conversation that you and I have had a lot of is, the non-con slate has to be tough, has to be difficult, because unfortunately with the Big East, you just don't get as many quad 1 win opportunities as you might get if you were in the Big 10 and the SEC and the Big 12. And so that's been something that not only Creighton has done, but other teams in the Big East have had to go through, right? They have to schedule some tougher non-con games in order to give themselves their best opportunity at not only getting into the NCAA tournament, but also, getting a higher seed. But John, you go through the Big East this year, Providence could end up being really good. DePaul got a DeHall. Villanova under Kevin Willard is kind of back. I mean, they're trending in the right direction. St. John's and UConn are established national powers with Hurley and Rick Pitino. You look at this conference in general, Creighton isn't going to be what they were for a very long time. They're not going to continuously repeat what they were last season. Same thing with Marquette. And then Richard Pitino, is testifying that they spent $14 million on the Xavier roster this season. And so my question is, it seems like the Big East has the ability to trend up and has the ability to become a better conference and have 5, 6, maybe even 7 with the expanded field, have 7 bids in the NCAA tournament. If that trend continues and more Big East teams are investing in their rosters and the teams are getting better, do you think that there's a possibility that we see in a couple of years Creighton and more teams in the Big East might pull off in terms of how difficult the non-con schedule is going to be?
That's a really good question. I would say probably not, because it is super tough in an 11-team league to create the top to bottom parity / toughness that you need.
Yeah.
For example, Creighton or any Big East team, regardless of how good the league is, would have to go to the table on Selection Sunday and say, look, we beat blank team from the Big 12. Look, we beat blank from the Big 10. Look, we beat blank from the ACC. And so I don't think the league will go away from scheduling heavy hitters. It's a little different from every program. A large chunk of Creighton's non-conference schedule for this upcoming season was set in place last year. So the Iowa game, the contract for that was signed in September.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah.
And so it's like Greg McDermott at the time, Creighton did not know that Iowa was going to be really damn good and go to the Elite Eight. So, that's where the intricacies come in. But I don't think the league will go away from that. Creighton's still going to schedule tough because that, Huss seemingly isn't ducking any smoke. He didn't do that at High Point, albeit the circumstances were different, right? And then you have a team like let's use Butler this year. Not expected to be very good with a first-year coach and little returning pieces, right? And so it's like they're going to schedule wins because the number matters.
Yeah.
Right? Like another good, really relatable example people in this area will understand is Nebraska. Look at the way Fred Hoiberg has scheduled over the past few seasons. Like 2 seasons ago, when they made the tournament and lost to A&M, they scheduled wins in non-conference play because, as you mentioned at the beginning of this, Matt, they could afford to go into Big Ten play and bank on beating a few teams and getting a resume boost because top to bottom, the Big Ten has that many quality opportunities. Whereas just by nature, in an 11-team league like the Big East, you just don't. You don't have as many quality opportunities. So now that Nebraska is good, I told Wilson this on our latest episode of Half Court Press. Now that Nebraska is like good and you see them get to the tournament twice in 3 years, the goal, Fred Hoiberg has told us through their scheduling, is not just to get to the NCAA tournament. They are scheduling to get a seed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's why they go and schedule power conference teams instead of, if you take away, I can't remember exactly who all's on their schedule. If you take away 2 power teams and you throw in 2 more bye games, sure, you might have 2 more wins, but what does that really earnestly do for your resume? Nothing. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
So, this is all a long meandering way to say that, no, I don't think the Big East will go away from its current scheduling model. And I'm generally speaking here again, you'll have a team like Butler that tries to schedule wins. That was DePaul over the past couple of seasons. They scheduled wins so that they could continue to build the program. But no, like the Big East teams that are aspiring NCAA tournament teams, which is hopefully half the league every year, they're going to schedule to get into the tournament. And so then it becomes when and who starts scheduling for seeding. Nova, UConn, St. John's, they're doing that. This year, Creighton, doing that. And I think Providence is doing that as well, but I can't remember their matchups off the top of my head. They'll be really good.
Providence plays in Nebraska this year. That does happen.
Yeah. Nebraska is like an honorary member of the Big East this year with Creighton, Providence,
and Butler.
Yeah. So it's exactly that. It's exactly that. So no, I don't think the Big East will go away from it. And truthfully, I don't think the Big East can go away from it because they're kind of already at a predisposition against the top conferences in the country, and you don't want to back yourself onto the ropes even more.
Yeah, right now I can only see actually 2 games on Providence's basketball schedule this year, and they're Nebraska at the Mohegan Sun and Syracuse at the TD Garden in Boston. So I'm sure those are all right. Those are fine. I mean, those are completely okay. I mean, it's just I agree.
It depends what else you have. You know what I mean?
Oh, well, so I agree with you in terms of, you can't, like, John, I grew up with Northwestern basketball. They played one power conference team, in their non-con every single year because they just wanted wins, right? Like that's just what they were going for. And so you can't go to that. But at the same time, according to, and I'm using John Rothstein's top 45, Creighton is going to play the 36th team in Iowa, the 8th team in Michigan, the 31st team in Nebraska, and the 7th team in Gonzaga. And then you got to add the other players era teams that they might end up playing who could be in those, pretty highly ranked power conference teams. Like, the question I guess I'm more so asking is, do you take 1 or 2 of those games away as opposed to just completely stripping it, right? Like, do you replace a Gonzaga game with maybe a team that's more akin to, like, give me a middling power conference team? Like, do you schedule like Rutgers instead? Like that could be a combo. But I agree with you for now, right? With how the Big East is, you're totally right. They don't need to move off that at all. But it is going to be interesting to see how all this pans out in the Big East, because it's a conference that spent a lot of money this year, John. It's a conference that spent a lot of money.
It has. That's the tough thing, is like, it's so hard to put your non-conference schedule together. Like Huss and his staff, they're going to start working on the 27-28 non-conference schedule this fall.
Yeah. Wow.
And so it's so hard, so difficult to say, okay, we're going to go play 6 power conference teams, 7 power conference teams, because we feel like we're scheduling for seeding, not to get into the tournament. And then what the hell do you do when half your roster leaves in April? So, like, that's what makes this all so difficult. You know what I mean? And then you have situations like I mentioned that, like, Creighton scheduled Iowa back in September. And who knew that Iowa was going to go to the Elite Eight and then benefit from everything that comes with that? You can then go on the recruiting trail and say, hey, we were just in the Elite Eight in our first year with this staff and these pieces in place. Like, why don't you come be the next Bennett Sturt?
Yeah.
Right. Like that's such an easier sell than, hey, Bennett left. We have a lot of opportunity available. Could you come help us get to the tournament? It's like, oh, okay. So just inherently, like, Iowa's going to be far better than they would have been if they hadn't made the Elite Eight, which Creighton had no clue what happened at the time they scheduled the game.
Sure.
And yes, welcome to scheduling from college basketball. So no, it's just difficult. But no, I'm a fan of just letting the ball roll out and seeing what happens, man. Like, if you truly want to be one of the top teams in the country, like, you have to test yourself against the top teams in the country.
Yeah.
And as far as this season goes, Creighton's certainly going to do that.
J-Dub, you're the man. Omaha.com, read Jon Walker, had a great article. We talked about some of the things, some of the observations that you made, but we only talked about some of them. There are a lot more to dive into. So encourage everybody to go and read your stuff. You're the best, man. We'll talk to you soon, all right, my friend?
Thanks, Matt. See y'all.
See you. Whiskey Walker, the Omaha World Herald. Real quick, John Rothstein's preseason Big East rankings dropped today.
Oh, let's go.
UConn number 1. No problem with that. UConn might end up being my pick to make a national championship again.
Okay.
I'm so impressed by the job
fine
that
school.
Danny Hurley did last year. Number 2, St. John's, obviously regrouped in the portal once again. Rick Pitino just has those boys rolling. Villanova, I think it was an underrated storyline last year that Kevin Willard came in.
He's got Nova 3.
Yeah, Nova number 3.
Whoa.
Well, Villanova also had a very good time in the portal. They'll probably end up being, if they're not ranked in the AP, they're going to be votes receiving in the AP. I think it was an underrated storyline last year that after Kyle Ineptitude, came in and just wasn't able to carry the torch of Jay Wright, that Kevin Willard in just one season kind of, obviously, like, were they the Villanova of old? Obviously not, but they turned it around to the point where they were respectable once again, getting to an NCAA tournament. 4 is interesting. It's Providence. This is really just coming off of the back of Brian Hodgson, who went ahead and the South Florida coach, South Florida, made the NCAA tournament last year. Providence South Florida was a 11 seed. I believe they played Louisville. I picked South Florida to win that game. Louisville ended up winning it, but they went in, they got a haul, and they were super aggressive in the transfer portal, got a lot of interesting pieces. I think one of the guys that they ended up getting was from the G League. And so they're number 4 just purely based off of the talent that they were able to acquire in the portal, and they got a lot of guys from the portal. Number 5, Creighton. I think that the Blue Jays did exactly what they needed to do in terms of going out to the portal, getting guys who can be aggressive on the defensive end, getting a rim protector, getting some 7-footers who can be behind him, getting dudes who can be on the ball and can score off the ball. Wes Enos is going to be that, but you can't forget about BJ Davis as well out of San Diego State. I think the key, obviously we're going to talk about this all year, is how you piece things together, right? And how those guys can come together and play as a team. And then 6 is Marquette, 7 is Xavier, 8 is DePaul. Both Xavier and DePaul spent a lot of money in the transfer portal this year. Rick Pitino was testified in saying $14 million is what his roster cost this year. DePaul, number 8, DeHall, they went in the portal. They got a lot of guys. Chris Holtman continues to build a ton of momentum over there in Chicago. Then Georgetown, Seton Hall, Butler round out 9, 10, and 11 spots in the Big East. It'll be a very interesting conference this year. What do you want to put the over with the expanded NCAA playoff? Over, under. If it was a field of 68, I would say 4.5.
But you never have to worry about that again. It's a field of
76.
Sure, I'll take your word for it.
Is it 4.5 still, or is it 5.5? Teams from the Big East make the tournament. Do they get 6 teams in?
That feels like a lot.
That seems like a ton. But if you told me a world where UConn, St. John's, Villanova, Providence, and Creighton all get into the tournament, would you be surprised? With the talent that Creighton has and the talent that Providence has brought in a field of 76, I wouldn't be shocked.
It does feel like the conference took a look at last year's results and we're like, whoa, can't let that happen again.
And what if DePaul, ends up having a surprise season? Or what if Xavier cashes in on all the guys that they brought in and Richard Pitino gets them going in the right direction? I think he's a fine coach. I don't know. I'll have to ask. You know what? This is a question for Bigelow and Happer. Biggie and Happer would know. 4.5 or 5.5. I'm leaning 5.5. Real quick, before we hit a break here and talk about Tortillos, I read a article today from CBS Sports about the best potential sites for the next Dayton, right? Who's going to be the next Dayton for the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, we need another first four, a second four, if you will. Not a final four.
Dribble handoff, best city and venue to join Dayton as host for NCAA tournament's expanded opening round. What is that? According to David Cobb, Gary Parrish, and Matt Norlander, none of their picks were Omaha, Nebraska.
Good.
They all picked different spots.
We're better than this.
It's one of those things where it's like, I think it's going to go like, oh, I didn't want you, but like, why didn't you pick me?
Yeah.
No. I didn't want to go with you to the prom, Jackie. Like, I didn't want to do that. But like, why'd you pick Rob? You picked Rob over me. Rob isn't better than me. Albuquerque isn't better than me.
What's Albuquerque got that I don't got?
I don't know. I didn't want to go with you though. I didn't want to go with you. But like, you picked that guy over. Okay, that's interesting decision.
I don't like Tate McRae's music, but what's Kansas City got that we don't got?
Facts. What does Jack Hughes have that I don't have? We talk about that next year on Middays with Matt.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Is this too little too late? I'm still a little shocked the thought process behind the 2026 recruiting class. Because I'm with you. I like fishing in the recruiting, the old school pond, at least for a school like in Nebraska.
It's too little too late if your coach is truly on the hot seat.
And that is a great wrinkle to
Matt
this. You are right.
Is not on the hot seat.
He is not.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Hershey Public Schools administrators are taking a proactive approach to preparing students for a quickly evolving digital world.
We want our students to understand what appropriate use is. We want them to have responsible digital citizenship habits.
Messages about responsible online behavior appear on screens throughout the schools and on Hershey's social media channels.
It's a way for the school to be a partner in helping families navigate all the changes surrounding the digital landscape.
Tell us why you're public school proud at publicschoolproudnebraska.org.
Some dinners are just dinner. Then there's 801 Chop House. Prime steaks, fresh seafood, craft cocktails. It's the kind of place where conversations last a little longer and the night doesn't rush you out the door. Don't worry about construction either. 801 Chop House has valet parking. Seriously, you've earned this. 801 Chop House, 14th and Farnham in Omaha. Reserve your table today. 801chophouse.com.
Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill serves pizza with an unforgettable pizza sauce and unique combinations of bold flavors. Try customer favorites like the Crab Ragoon Pizza, Mountain Man, or the Upset Grizzly Bear. There are daily specials and menu items like tacos, salads, wings, and burgers. Stop in and check out Timber Creek's family-friendly dining environment while enjoying a popular adult beverage. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill at 178th and Harrison and at timbercreekpizzaomaha.com.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Your dog is limping, but she seems fine. Plus, you've heard they can fake it just to get what they want. So what's the deal now? You're being gaslit.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Oh, now she switched legs. What a diva.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
As veterans, we're no strangers to helping others.
It's what we were taught, trained, and told to do.
It could be for anything. Helping a friend move.
Listening to a fellow veteran for hours, at any hour of the day.
Or just simply making time for people. A neighbor, a loved one, or even a stranger.
We're often the first to help others. There's no question about it.
But we do have one question for the veterans listening.
When was the last time you reached out for help?
Perhaps it's time to do for yourself what you would do for others.
If you or someone you know needs resources, whether it's for stress, finances, employment, or mental health, don't wait. Reach out.
Find more information at va.gov/reach. That's va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Big 12 Media Days going on. That's how you know we're in the peak of it needs to be football season immediately. Start talking about the media days. All these people talking. One of the developments that has happened in sport recently that I'm not a fan of is Texas Tech playing the victim. They really seem to think everybody is out to get them, even though they are the ones who constituted this problem.
It's an insular community there in Lubbock, and they tend to think everyone's against them.
Yes, they do. And a reporter went to the Big 12 Media Days. Can we have the name of this reporter by any chance?
Yeah, I mean, it's out there. I don't read or comprehend
it's
things
probably
I
best
read.
we don't put a name to it, for being honest.
Oh.
After his, well, I'm just saying, there was a picture out there of this reporter asking a question, and in the background were two other reporters who had their faces in their hands because they were just so embarrassed about what was going on between this obviously Texas Tech reporter and Brett Yormark, the commissioner of the Big 12, who announced plenty of things that we will talk about here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network, especially about the Monster Energy.
Sean Dillon asks our beloved, honestly, Brett Yormark. I'm a Brett Yormark stan. I think we've come to recognize this. He asks him this question.
Could you sit? Let me come closer to you. Stand up. Ask that question again, and I'm going to give you the answer I want to give you. So go ahead.
Texas Tech got fined for tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU has had paddles that were given a noisemaker exemption back in 2012. Sorsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders, and yet there's a lawsuit. Cincinnati has yet to be touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe them?
No, I didn't say greater than 12. You misquoted me. I said we're going forward as 16 strong, and that's my answer to your question. But thank you for that question. Appreciate it.
Gentleman in the black.
Play the beginning again, please. Play the beginning again.
Could you sit? Let me come closer to you.
Let me come closer to you.
Ask that question again, and I'm going to give you the answer I want to give you. So go ahead.
It's incredible because that reporter, John Dillon, asked him that question.
Lubbock-based radio host.
Great. Incredible. I'm sure he's having an awesome show.
This is Texas's Matt McMaster.
And so he asked that question about the tortillas and the paddles and Cincinnati and Texas
Sorry,
Tech.
I believe it's pronounced
tortillas.
Yeah, tortillas. And asked that question. Brett Yormark, I think, was flabbergasted. He's like, are you really? We're doing this? You're really complaining about paddles and tortillas right now? And you're asking me why you're getting punished and what's happened with Cincinnati? Which, by the way, the NCAA has sent a letter to Cincinnati. Okay, they have sent a letter. They are not, this isn't like a, hey, we're starting an investigation letter. They sent a letter just kind of inquiring, hey, about the situation, what went on, just what's kind of your side of the story. So the NCAA has been in contact in terms of with Cincinnati in terms of whether or not they knew Brendan Sorsby had these gambling issues and they were still paying him. So it's not like that has gone unchecked. It's just remarkable to me that Texas Tech's argument now is, well, he didn't play for us. Why are we getting punished? When that's not the issue. The issue is that you attempted to and backed a man whose presence would have completely questioned the integrity of the sport. And the fact that you backed him and the fact that you were trying, if it were up to you, if we're up to Texas Tech, Brendan Sorsby, a man who gambled on his own team, would be playing, that is awful for the sport. And so, yes, you are going to get punished and there are going to be, and by the way, too, like, it's not like Texas Tech stood there idly and said nothing. They helped mitigate a lawsuit that was a threatening of a lawsuit to the Big 12 that, hey, we're going to sue you if you take sanctions against us. It's not as if like they were just standing idly by. No, they were fully supporting something that would have completely altered the face of college sport, and not in a good way. So absolutely, they should be punished. Absolutely. We should look at them and say, how dare you try and get this through, when Texas Tech found out that Brendan Sorsby had all of these problems. It should not have been about all the money we're paying him and how good our team is going to be. And they should have just dropped it, been like, oh, sorry, kid. Sorry, can't play.
Can't undo a 22-minute video, though.
You can't. You cannot. So
ask Kim Kardashian.
Texas Tech individuals and radio hosts and media members and fans to act as if the Big 12 is out to get them, get out of here. You and your university and your president and your coach and your, chairman of the board, Cody Campbell, he did this to you. They did this to you. Okay.
So my reaction to this is not so much I guess all things considered, given the situation, that's not an unreasonable way to react. I guess I could see myself feeling the same way, but it is this jackwagon reading poorly, I might add, a terribly constructed gotcha question. And you knew in the car ride on the way to the event, he's like, I got him. I got him.
He was fired up.
Oh, they better not call on me. I'm going to get him.
A couple of questions for Sean Dillon. First off, how is he a radio host if he talks that poorly?
Well, it's Lubbock. The education level is.
Maybe I shouldn't be the one questioning that. I know that I have flubs here and there.
I think it actually helps your case that you're the one saying.
Can I be
this.
honest? When have I ever said tortillos? Tortillos. He stumbled through the entirety of that question. Secondly, too, you and I know these media people. You and I know these broadcasters. He was thinking in his heart, "Oh, I'm the man of the people. I'm the man of the people.
Lubbock's gonna love me.
I'm gonna get so much fanfare from
I'm
asking
gonna
this
pop
question
a huge
about
number.
paddles and tortillos." It is ridiculous. By the way, Sean didn't do his research. He said, and Cincinnati hasn't been touched. That's not true. Cincinnati was sent a letter of inquiry from the NCAA. Okay, so the NCAA has touched Cincinnati. They have asked, "Hi, what happened? What's going on?" Cincinnati, hey, some spokespeople have talked about the fact that, we have a gambling, like we have things that go against gambling. We have things that set, like they have markers and alarms and a system that, make sure like whether or not their athletes are gambling, and they didn't have necessarily a issue with Brendan Sorsby. I have to find the article. I'm pretty sure they admitted that something had gone off on their like alarm system with Sorsby, and they talked to him about it, and yet they never got to the point where they knew that what he was doing back in Indiana. Yeah. So just quite ridiculous. Texas Tech is playing the victim. It's insane. It's insane to me. It's whatever. You move on. We're going to talk more about the Big 12 today.
The Big 12.
People have takes about patches. They have takes about sponsorships. They have take about Monster Energy. That's what they have takes about.
Generally good.
I prefer a white Monster Energy. But before we get to all of that, here on a Wacky Guest Wednesday, might I add, Josh Otson reads the odd news coming up next.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Bring the outside in with an exclusive year-round sunroom from Remodel, Nebraska. Locally owned and operated, we design and build custom sunrooms, patio covers, decks, and more. Perfect for enjoying our changing seasons. Voted #1 Best of Omaha in sunrooms, our team turns your vision into reality. Remodel-ne.com.
Invite the outdoors in with the sunroom. Remodel, Nebraska.
Ryan, you just graduated high school. No college for you?
I'm getting a career certificate in just a year. I'll be fixing cars in no time.
That's one way to drive your future forward. Zoe, what's next for you?
After high school, it's 2 years at MCC, then I'm transferring to university.
That's so smart, Zoe. Tyler, you're in high school getting college credits?
I'm already getting tuition-free college credits, so I can knock out my gen eds before I graduate.
Metropolitan Community College. Start today, so you can say,
"This is me at MCC."
Classes start July 19th.
Hey everybody, it's Jimmy Allen. And I'm Dan Campanen, your unofficial co-host. 6 to 8 p.m. may look a little bit different these days, but it's still the same vibe. Open bars on Monday, what's happening on social media, and the takes you didn't ask for, but we're going to give to you anyway.
Yeah, except now I've got to do more and try to keep Jimmy on the rails.
Good luck with that, Dan. Stop by the After Hours Lounge from 6 to 8 p.m.
as the sports schedule allows.
Brought to you by Bellevue University
on 1620 The Zone.
Are you looking for a new career with great benefits? Join Dollar General at the largest distribution center in Blair, Nebraska. Earn up to $23.40 per hour, plus medical, dental, vision, 401k, and attendance and performance incentives. At this state-of-the-art distribution center, you'll be sure to find growth in your career with advancement opportunities, including tuition reimbursement. Apply today at dollargeneral.com/careers. Join DG in their mission of serving others.
When money's tight and you're behind, every dollar counts. And Liberty Mutual can help you catch up to make that back nine rally to win, if you will. Liberty Mutual comes up clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with partners that work hard to help you keep more of what matters most in your pocket. Liberty, liberty, liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent.
Smokey the Bear.
Then you know why Smokey tells you when he sees you passing through. Remember, please be careful well, it's the least that you can do.
What you desire, don't play with matches, don't play with fire.
After 80 years of learning his wildfire prevention tips, Smokey Bear lives within us all. Learn more at SmokeyBear.com. And remember,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Could we make an argument for it actually being Michigan State or Maryland?
Well, that's where I wanted to start. I'm just going to run down the list. Obviously, it's none of the first three.
No.
Though it could be like the Georgia Southern game was a defining moment for Scott Frost.
100%. I mean, it's his last
losing
game.
to Bowling Green, North Dakota could feel like that. But honestly, those two games, Michigan State being the first road game and Maryland being the first conference home game.
It's before Indiana and Oregon.
If you lose either of those two games, there's a good chance you're not going to a bowl game. Or at least the chances of not going to a bowl game go significantly higher. If you're of the belief, hey, man, this is a really, really tough schedule. And in the words of Bill Moose, we just got to get to 6. If you're of that mindset,
it's about piling up wins,
then you've got to win the winnable ones. And those two are the first two of the winnable ones where you don't have to squint that hard to go, oh, boy, that could stumble.
Not to mention, so if you look at the Bill Connolly SP Plus numbers, which we have done on the show a few times so far this offseason, Nebraska right now is favored in 6. They're underdogs in 6. The games that they are favored in include Michigan State on the road, include Maryland at home. And so if you lose one of those games, in theory, right now on paper, you have lost a game that you are favored to win. And thus, then, to get even to 6-6, it would require you pulling an upset against a team that you are favored to lose against.
I think it's Maryland and Michigan State because it's the first, conference games. That's important. I think those will really set the vibe
100%.
for the season.
John, the other thing that we have not mentioned is we keep talking about 5-0 runway, 5-0 runway. How many times have you and I sat on this show and said they have the path to a blank record?
Yep.
And they never get there.
And they never do.
And so if they're going to finally get to the hot start before the big dog comes in or before you travel to the big dog, it would require you to win both of those games.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
We have sharks circling the water of the APA studios, which neither of these individuals knocked, so we won't be acknowledging them during the show because we are the APA. That's what happens. So as far as Josh and I are concerned, nobody is currently in the studio yet.
Ooh, fun.
Oh, it's our friend Chris Prudon.
We
Look
got
at
a
the
knock.
hat.
Wow.
Hey, it's great to see you. No, we have to do the odd news.
But I can turn on my own mic.
You can turn on your own mic. All right, bye. Do the odd news, Josh Hodson. See, Chris Prudon's here. He knocked on our door.
A hungry seagull ate 3 hot dogs that were unattended at Monday's Vermont Lake Monsters game in Burlington, Vermont. Witnesses said the bird consumed the hot dogs during hot dog hysteria at the game.
Nice.
The food had been left unattended for just a few minutes. When the seagull tried to flee the scene, it was weighed down by its full tummy and unable to fly away. I read you the entire article. I have no answers to your questions.
Okay. Can I just, that's my type of bird. All right.
Right?
If Matt was a bird.
3 dogs?
If Matt was a bird, he would eat to completion so much to the point where he couldn't fly anymore. I do that in human form. I eat so much to the point where I can't walk. So this is a seagull of my own heart, which, by the way, hot dogs are awesome. Hot dogs are so
Good take,
dude.
Matt.
Dude, hot dogs. Top 8 favorite foods. Hot dogs had to be 6.
Okay.
Have to be 6 on the list. Josh Hodson, our second odd news story.
Second odd news story comes from Iowa, where a 93-year-old man might become a Guinness World Record holder for being the world's oldest truck driver. Oren Osmus will turn 94 next month. Has been driving trucks since he was 19. He's worked for the same company for the last 11 years. And now they're trying to get him the title of world's oldest truck driver. He has driven more than 5 million miles and is more than 70 years on the job. He's hauled cargo through every state except Hawaii and Alaska.
I mean, I feel like there's some limitations there.
This man is on the roads with us.
He is.
Right now.
Got a little Emmy, little kitty. You know, you got roller dogs? You ever see that video of the guy on Instagram?
I have not.
He's like a truck driver. He's like, I'll run you out the truck with this. You gotta. Someone goes, you want a pickle in the pouch? I don't want a pickle in the pouch. I want my M&Ms. That's how he talks.
Okay.
That's a truck driver on Instagram.
You're going to have to send that to me.
What's this guy's name? Orn Osmosis?
Osmos.
Okay. Sounds like a guy from Lord of the Rings. Let's do a final odd news story.
This is sad news out of Florida where a couple girl angered about her girlfriend not wanting to this morning.
Yeah, okay.
A Florida woman allegedly strangled the victim and performed a WWE-style choke slam on her before it turned a little more violent.
Sorry.
Before authorities were able to intervene. Tyla Sherman, 32 years young, arrested Sunday on multiple charges related to a incident in St. Petersburg.
We locked up, and then it just turned into a shoot. You know,
that is working yourself into a shoot.
Literally.
Yes,
I mean, look,
absolutely.
I told her travel, drop down, off the top rope, look for the boot, throw me in the corner, and all of a sudden she just chokeslammed me. Sounds like a Dark Side in the Ring episode.
She threatened to put the victim in the dirt, according to court reports.
She threatened to bury her alive after giving her a choke slam? Wow.
Called her the H word, too.
I think Vince McMahon would have signed this woman immediately.
She's got a neck tattoo, just like The Undertaker.
I mean, all signs point to that. She would have been great in Midwest wrestling. Let's take a break, and let's talk about jersey patches.
Finally.
And the rabbit hole that I have somehow dug myself way deep into here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Trained to push past the pain. Not athletes, just people. Men, women, and children trafficked every day in the United States. Sometimes by someone they trusted, sometimes by their own family. While millions watch the World Cup, they're fighting to survive in silence. Help us change that. Visit bluecampaign.gov/World Cup to help us break the silence.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today, and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
If you think you're having transmission problems, you need a specialist, someone who can and will tell you exactly what's wrong. At Omaha Transmission, that's what we do. Some places just want to sell you a new transmission, but at Omaha Transmission, we make repairs that other shops can't or won't. Giving you options is what's kept us in business since 2005. We've even had people hear our ads, bring in their car, and experience the exact same scenario they heard. There is a place that will diagnose and fix your transmission. That place is Omaha Transmission.
Shifting to running smooth.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me at mike@1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash. Fantastic. Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control.
Yikes!
So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. What to do this time of year in Nebraska outside? Well, there are stock trout and other fish to be caught. There are many different migratory birds to see. There are shed deer antlers to be found, and there are many trails to be traversed in Nebraska's 250-mile fitness challenge. Get more ideas for stepping outside online through the Game and Parks website, outdoornebraska.gov. Hey, are you planning a spring wild turkey hunt? Many of us are. Then we need to remember safety first at all times when we're in the field. We need to be doubly sure of our targets and our backgrounds before we fire our shots, and never ever wear the colors of the wild turkey gobbler: red, white, blue, and black. Always plan your hunt and hunt your plan. Be safe. I'm Greg Wagner.
In school sports, it's easy to see the wins, the moments that make headlines. But there's so much work that goes unseen for any of it to happen. My name is Phil Risen, and I'm the Executive Director of the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Throughout the country, athletic administrators dedicate countless hours to making life-changing opportunities possible for student athletes through sports. Their sacrifice is fueled by the belief that every student can grow and deserves their time to shine. On behalf of the NIAAA, we want to thank every athletic administrator for your tireless dedication to providing 7.8 million students across the country a path to a better future.
This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone. Josh Hodson's boyhood hero was Hank Aaron. Matt McMasters was the guy from the Dos Equis commercial. Now it's starting to all make sense. Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
I am the life of parties I've never been a part of. That is something that I did accomplish, like the Dos Equis band. Did you ever you love those commercials?
I do. I'm surprised you know and remember them.
It's been rumored he's cured schizophrenia by walking into a room. When he met the Queen of England, she bowed to him. His beard has an identification card. When he goes fishing, he's the big catch.
When did these commercials come out? How do you know these?
These were back when I was a child. You know, it's incredible to me, like, how there are things that happened 3 days ago that I don't remember, but things that occurred from when I was like 5 to 8, I will never forget. Like just how Nate Shearholtz was absolutely like terrible as a Chicago Cubs player. That was closer when I was 12. But regardless of all of that, things that I have been learning about and reading about recently that really just indicate to me that I am a lost traveler right now without my sports. My sports.
You were looking for the Tour de
sports.
France earlier.
I was. I have a uncle named Steve. Well, no, not uncle. He's a cousin, but may as well be like an uncle. Named Steve. He's really into the Tour de France, and he wants me to get into it, so he has somebody to talk about it with. And so, like, he's kind of giving me the whole rundown on the tournament. And so, in order to like foster a relationship, but a greater relationship between us, I'm trying to keep up with the Tour de France, and I thought I might be on, so I put it on. I'm just trying to keep foreign relations up. He's got
somebody's got to.
He's got a really cute kid. He's like the only boy cousin like that we've had. Like all of the offspring from like the younger generation of cousins have all been girls. And so like he doesn't have like a bigger cousin to look up to. So I'm trying to be kind of that guy for him,
Okay.
And so I'm trying to make a better relationship with the family. So I'm trying to watch the Tour de France in order to make conversation. But that's not the rabbit hole that I've fallen into. Not yet. Give me a couple of days. The rabbit hole I have fallen into is jersey patches. Fascinating to me. I'm completely fascinated by these deals, how college athletic departments deal with these deals. How do you kind of rip the Band-Aid off with your fan base, like not being very happy with some, at times, legacy teams having now these patches on their jersey? It wasn't easy for the Kansas City Royals to tell their fans that they're going to have a Quick Trip logo on their jersey. It wasn't very easy for the Cubs to explain, yes, we're a Motorola team now. And it's just kind of one of those things where now it's finding its way into college sports, but it's a little bit different because, you know, pro sports, it was kind of communicated to us, hey, all of the other leagues do this, right? You go to Europe, you go to Mexico, you go to South America, you go anywhere, right? You are going to find even junior hockey, right? Like you are going to find, you know, teams that have sponsorships all on their jerseys and all on their helmets because that's the way they make money. We're not doing anything different. We're actually, you know, just kind of adhering to what pro sports do. And we're only, and this is how the pro sports teams communicated it, right? The pro sports teams communicated it as, hey, we're only doing one little patch, right? We're doing one little patch on the jersey, one little patch on the helmet. It's not that big of a deal. We're not turning our jerseys into billboards. We still understand how much our jerseys mean to you, but you know, we're making a little extra cash. It's a business. This is what we have to do.
You
right?
want a good team, right?
Well, the pro sports teams don't have to do that.
Well, sure.
Right? The pro sports teams do not have to say, hey, you want us to go and fund fund this team, right? We're going to get a sponsorship. They don't have to communicate that. They got enough money. And this is maybe more so pointed towards like the NBA and NHL. They have salary caps, right? So it's like they can do that. Maybe Major League Baseball could do that, but I don't really remember a Major League Baseball team communicating it like that. But your point, you want a good team, right? That's how college football teams are communicating this or could communicate this to fans, right? This isn't like pro sports teams being like, hey, everybody is doing it. This is college athletic departments being like, hey, we got real estate and we need money because this is
a valuable shoulder.
This is an unexpected cost, right? From a couple of years ago that we have to catch up on in order to put on the best product we possibly can have. And so, yeah, you may love the Kansas Jayhawk basketball uniforms and they may be very important to you, but to us now in the era of college sports that we are in, they are an asset.
Wouldn't it look a lot nicer with a Phillips 66 logo on that thing?
XRP is actually the logo that the Kansas Jayhawks are going to have on their uniform.
XRP, what is
it's like
that's the other thing with this. It's not it's not the big companies. This is very, very, very general. It's not like in basketball. It was like, oh, surely every large corporation will want to do it. It's companies I've never heard of that are like outspending just to kind of.
Doesn't that make sense though?
It does in hindsight.
You did not know who XRP was.
Nope.
A couple of years, I think it was back in 2017, Rakuten was the Golden State Warriors sponsor, and it was a massive deal at the time.
Very valuable for them, I'm sure.
I had no idea what Rakuten was when it first happened, right? So this is why these teams do it. You're kind of explaining their point in a way, Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
You know, which is very valuable. Like, it's just fascinating to me how, like, the difference in communication with these things. Pro sports teams get to be like, hey, everybody else is doing it. We're just adhering to the norm. College sports teams have to say, no, dude, like, you want us to keep up with the Joneses? You want us to put the best product out there? You want us to have that competitive advantage? Which, by the way, eventually the advantage is not going to be the first person having the sponsorship. The advantage is going to be having the best deal, right? So that's why I've just been so fascinated with this and reading about this and delving into it. And what's fascinating, one of the more fascinating things happened yesterday when the Big 12 Conference decided that they were going to make a conference-wide deal, that they were going to sell the entire conference for $20 million annually to Monster Energy.
To the whole conference?
So, great question.
Oh,
men's basketball, women's basketball, and football are the only sports affected by this. The entire conference, every single team in the conference will receive roughly, and I think it's more so on the over, $1 million for this. Now,
okay.
A lot of the reaction was $20 million for the whole conference? Each team's only getting about $1 million? That's chump change. Roommate Dan had a great argument. Roommate Dan was like, I'm pretty sure NASCAR a couple of years ago made a deal like that. It was even less for a less popular sport, right? And I agree, like on the surface level.
Yeah.
On the surface level, right? We're just going surface level takes. Yeah, it's $1 million for every single team to have the entirety of the conference be like the Monster Energy Big 12 conference and to have a conference patch on each jersey and to have the logos on the court. It doesn't seem like a lot. It doesn't seem like anything. And I agree. They should be getting a little bit more. Like they're getting shortchanged. Like Monster Energy is getting a bang for their buck. But I think we got to delve into the details a little bit more. Let's go beneath the surface.
Yeah, like Kansas men's basketball could get a great deal for a patch, but like TCU women's basketball, like
great point.
Great deal for them.
And there's the whole like, oh, it's, the Big 12 conference. The Big 12 conference, they can do way better. But, in reality,
can they?
In reality, they are the third biggest football conference. Their top matchups would be B-tier matchups in the Big Ten and the SEC. Like, let's be real. Their best game last year was BYU Texas Tech. I could name you probably 10 different SEC/Big Ten matchups that would be better than that. Could they get more than $20 million a year? Absolutely. Is it maybe a long-term play? I don't know. But I want to give you the details of this deal because there are some things that get left out in the Monster Energy is paying $20 million a year to be the massive sponsor of the Big 12 Conference. Number one, Big 12 teams, and we've already seen it with a lot of them. Oklahoma State, they have their own patch sponsor. Kansas announced today they have their own patch sponsor. Big 12 teams can still negotiate their own personal sponsorship, their own personal jersey patches on their jersey. So this deal, this $20 million deal where $1 million is being handed out to every single team, this isn't something that is stopping other Big 12 teams from making money off of their real estate, making money off their jerseys. This is really like essentially the Big 12 saying, hey, you're doing nothing different at all. They're even, by the way, funding, like Monster Energy is even funding the work that is going to go into putting their logos on the court and on the field. So like the schools don't even have to pay for the work that might go in, for the labor that's going to go into putting those field and court patches on. Monster Energy is paying for that. So it's the Big 12 saying, hey, you're not doing any work, any additional work. We're giving you $1 million. Secondly, there's a very interesting tidbit here, and we'll get into who this source is. But the Monster Energy patch, at least how it's been explained, is not a separate patch on jerseys. It is a part of the Big 12 logo that is already there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So this is from Learfield's. Learfield is a multimedia right company, right? We know Playfly, they're a multimedia right company. This is a quote from Learfield. They go, based on discussions with the conference, it is our understanding that this is a naming rights sponsorship of Big 12 football and basketball, and this new patch simply replaces the current conference patch on football and basketball jerseys. In only 6 months, we have successfully sold and announced several jersey patch deals with Big 12 partners, and we look forward to continuing the successful track record within the Big 12 and beyond. And what's an interesting little kind of clash here, which I've been learning about, which is why I'm fascinated about this, is you have these multimedia right partners like Playfly Sports, who, by the way, signed a deal today with DePaul to be their multimedia right partner for the next 10 years, and Learfield. And they're partnered up with multiple Big 12 schools, multiple Big 10 schools. Everybody knows Nebraska's partnered with Playfly. It's of their opinion that the real estate that is those jerseys in which those patches would go on, that's theirs. That's Learfield's Cassell. That's Playfly's Cassell. And so the Big 12 kind of coming in and having this partnership doesn't necessarily create a divide or a rift, but it's the Big 12 saying, hey, we're here. You know, we can make deals too. We can make money too. And there is a bit of a, I don't want to say animosity, but some of these quotes that I have from the Sports Business Journal article that I'm reading from Ben Portnoy, you know, the quotes from Learfield and Playfly both kind of explain like, yeah, that's great that they're doing that, but we got to make sure we can sell our patches. We got to make sure that, you know, we're the multimedia rights partnerships. We have paid a lot of money in order to be able to sell these deals, to market these teams. We don't want the conference meddling necessarily in that business and getting in the way of us. But I think that when you add the context of teams, you know, still have the real estate of their jerseys in order to sell those sponsorship patches, and that, you know, these things are getting paid for in order to install on the field and on the court. Those logos are being installed by Monster. And on top of that, they're just simply replacing the Big 12 logo with kind of a Big 12 Monster Energy patch. I think that makes this deal a little bit better because you're essentially communicating, hey, these Big 12 teams aren't doing anything different. You know, there's not an added expense for these Big 12 teams. They're just getting money to get money. Hey, we're going to change a couple things in your court. We're going to change a patch on your jersey. You're good. Here's $1 million. Should they be getting more? Probably. They probably should be getting more. Especially if you look at some NBA jersey patches. NBA jersey patches vary between $5 to $20 million.
Whoa, okay.
The biggest one is a company called We Bowl. Is paying the Brooklyn Nets $30 million to have their sponsorship on their jerseys. I know.
And no one sees it.
It's ridiculous.
Because it's the Nets.
Exactly. Now, the Clippers, they have a $13 million deal. The Lakers have a $20 million deal. Golden State back in the day, I remember that I mentioned that Rakuten deal. That was $20 million. So there's a lot of money that comes into the jersey patches. Now, let's talk about Kansas real quick. I find this Kansas deal fascinating. And the fact of the matter is that I've read a couple of articles here, and I've read some articles on Wisconsin. I haven't been able to find like specific amounts, like how much is XRP paying for their logo to be on the Kansas Jayhawk jersey? How much is Culver's paying for Wisconsin for their patch to be on Wisconsin's jersey? When those numbers come out, it'll be very interesting to me. But this is why, and let's bring it local here. Kansas putting a logo on their basketball jersey. Kansas basketball, biggest thing I got. Kansas basketball is massive. National brand. Lawrence, Kansas, that's their team, right? Just how Lincoln, Nebraska, and the state of Nebraska, that's the Cornhuskers. Kansas, right? Lawrence, Kansas, state of Kansas, that's their, you know, unless they're a Kansas State fan, that's their basketball team, right? That jersey, that lettering, that color, those stripes, that means a lot to that state, to that community, to that college. And to put a logo on it, there are a lot of people. You go through social media right now, you go through Twitter right now, you go through the replies right now, there are a lot of people upset that Kansas basketball is now going to have a logo on their jersey. There are a lot of people upset that you're going to have that on something that is so sacred to that community. I wonder if Troy Dannon monitors that response. I wonder if Troy Dannon monitors how Kansas handles the outcry that will come with them having a sponsorship
you
on
gotta
their jersey.
spin it the right way, right? You got
1,000,000%.
because it's going to come back at you. Well, how could you do this? Oh, the sport I love is dead.
But it's well, the top comment on the Kansas On 3 graphic is, what happened to the game I love? Okay? Like that is the reaction. And so it is comparable, right? Like the Nebraska football team, the Nebraska football jerseys, maybe not the specific jerseys anymore, but the colors, right? matter a ton to this state, matter a ton to this community, just like the same thing with Kansas basketball and that community and that state and that college.
I'm like you. I'm curious what Kansas is getting.
Oh, I am
for
too.
This. I forgive me if you mentioned this. Houston said they could get $1.5 to $2.5 million for a patch on their jersey.
I did not know that. That's good research, by
it doesn't say that Houston got a patch or got that much money, but their AD is estimating that's what they could pull in for a patch. And obviously, Kansas basketball, that's more valuable real estate than
I wonder
Houston
too,
football.
You only get 34 games in college basketball, and how many of those games are nationally televised?
Kansas, it's all of them, right? Like
probably
the vast majority.
A vast majority of them, but like, are we counting a Kansas basketball game versus nobody
right?
Like, is that like prime advertisement? I don't know. But I think the point being is this, like, if there's a pretty decent comparison to how Nebraska fans might react if the Nebraska football jersey had a patch.
Absolutely.
A pretty apt comparison would be how are Kansas basketball fans reacting to their jerseys having a patch. And I think if I had to guess, because he is very he makes a lot of astute observations and he keeps tabs on a lot of things. I would guess that Troy Dandon is monitoring. Okay, how is Kansas? How is the reaction to that, and how is Kansas handling the process of communicating to their fans why they're doing it? And I do think for the most part, Troy Dandon has made some really tough decisions, man. To reseat for volleyball, that's a tough decision to make. To reseat for football and get rid of the grandfathering rules that they had, those are some tough decisions to make. And those are decisions that he even himself knows are going to be, unpopular. And I think there are a couple bumps in the road with baseball and basketball based on your opinions. But I think that he is somebody who has taken communication and how does he communicate these tough decisions to people. He's taken that to heart. And I think Kansas basketball, like, that's kind of if I'm other teams right now and I'm on the fence of whether or not I'm going to sell my sponsorship or I'm going to sell a patch on my jersey, Kansas basketball, the fact that they're selling theirs and they're touching that jersey and they're touching that tradition, that might be the green light for some teams.
I mean, it's
to say if they're doing it, people don't care nearly as much about our basketball team as they do of Kansas. And Kansas is taking that step. We're just Wichita State. Okay, cool. Let's go sell our patch. Let's go make that money.
In 1 to 2 years, every college sport, every team will have a patch on their jersey.
Without a doubt.
And then Alabama and Penn State football have a decision to make. Because those are the two you don't touch. Like, as much as we like to say, you don't touch the Nebraska jersey. You don't touch that thing. That thing's a sacred cow. The Alabama jersey and the Penn State jersey are more so. Yes. Like, is that a crazy statement?
Can I add one?
Please.
Can I add one?
Michigan, Notre Dame. Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Kenneth, are you pro patch? Are you in the chat?
See, Notre Dame, though, they have so many business because that business school is awesome. I'm being serious.
They
have a lot of people that might be like, well, that's proper business.
It's the Harold and Dean, Smith, the offensive coordinator position. Like, they sold the title of the coordinator positions at Notre Dame. Like, it's genius in a mad way.
The funny thing is too, is that like, you could make like deals that are more like this is interesting, right? Like XRP for Kansas. This is as part of the deal, the XRP logo will appear as a patch across all Kansas athletics team. The partnership was announced in collaboration with Learfield. Like, is this a local? I'm going to guess that this isn't a local brand. Like, I don't know. I have no idea. But I think it's different if you have a deal with a local brand that, was it built in the state? Is it owned by an alumni, right? Like Oklahoma State, their patch is going, so they sold their jersey patch to the Osage Nation, okay?
Oh,
and
interesting.
The Osage Nation, that's a Native American tribe. It's based in Oklahoma. They've had a relationship with the Osage Nation, right, for an extended period of time, and they have plenty of like alumni connections between, them and Oklahoma State. And so it's a little bit different, in my opinion, if you sell the jersey patch to something that means something to the community, opposed to selling it to the highest bidder, right? Like, here's my question to you, Josh Hodson.
Yeah.
Do you think the reaction to Nebraska selling their jersey patch would be different if they sold it to a local in-state company or if they sold it to an overseas company?
I will answer your question, I promise. XRP, also known as Ripple, the crypto gang, whatever it is they do over there, based in San Francisco.
Okay.
Yes, I think a Nebraska-based jersey patch would be better received, or an ag-based. Like,
sure.
I'll be honest, I don't know where Acres is headquartered. I assume somewhere somewhat locally, right?
Yeah.
But an ag-based or a Nebraska-based company would be better received than, hey, Ghirardelli Chocolate is sponsoring the jersey patch.
Or Rakuten. What if let's use a Rakuten example. Like, you never heard of them before.
Much better example than mine.
Now they're on there. Well, I think a Ghirardelli Chocolate might actually be pretty.
I was thinking I had San Francisco on the brain.
Can you imagine if you had a Lindor chocolate? Can you imagine to put a Lindor chocolate truffle?
Oh, Connor
on
would be in shambles. That man hates those truffles.
I love the Lindor chocolate truffles. If you put like a Baskin Robbins, sponsorship on. But I'm saying it's like, this is why I find this fascinating, because it's like there's even that part of it now where it's like, who do you sell it to? Do you sell it to a company that nobody's ever heard of? I haven't heard of Ripple before. Do you sell it to a company that nobody's ever heard of for the highest bidder to make the most amount of money possible? Or do you take a pay cut, right, in selling it? All right, we're going to sell it to a local company. They may not buy it as much as the other company nobody knows about, but at least we have that connection locally to the state. We got to
sell it to the right business,
exactly.
right?
Exactly. And so that way, are you sacrificing money in order to communicate better to your fans and have a better connection with your fans? That's why I love this. This is just comms 101. This is part sociology. Like, this is part of the things that I enjoy talking about. I find it fascinating. And I think that Kansas selling that jersey patch, like, you can mark that off as, that's one of the first like iconic college basketball brands to be like, yeah, we're going to have patches on our jerseys. Right. I like Wisconsin. Is Wisconsin hockey as iconic as Kansas basketball? Wisconsin hockey pretty iconic, by the way.
Yeah, was that part of the Culver's deal?
Oh yeah,
it was.
I'm going to buy a Wisconsin hockey jersey. I'm going to get my Caroline Harvey Wisconsin hockey jersey with a Culver's patch right there. Let's hit a break here and let's talk about a bad list coming up next here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Without being pessimistic for a second, John, all the big things in my lifetime have been really depressing.
9/11. So were the aliens, because they're probably here to eat us.
Maybe they're chill.
Highly unlikely.
How could you possibly know that?
Why else would they come here?
To see what's up. Why do we go to the moon?
Think about it for just a second.
I landed on the moon to see what's up.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
Dive into summer with Home Innovations Spas. Summer is here, and this is the absolute perfect time to transform your backyard and to utilize the space for fitness, family fun, relaxation, and so much more. As your trusted master spa dealer, Home Innovation Spas offers premium products designed to help you make the most out of these warm summer nights. Start shopping online today at spasonline.com. Home Innovation Spas with 3 great locations ready to serve you. Nebraska-owned, Nebraska-ran, Home Innovation Spas.
The Zone Hotline is powered by Prairie Flower Casino. Play longer, win more.
In the heart of the Midwest, dependable transportation keeps America moving, and Liquid Trucking prides themselves in being one of the highest quality liquid transport services out of the Midwest, servicing the continental U.S. and Canada. When it comes to hauling agriculture products, food-grade liquids, and hazardous materials, you need a partner you can trust. Our well-qualified tanker drivers, specialty equipment, and strict safety standards ensure every load moves safely, reliably, and are on time. Get a quote today at liquidtrucking.com.
When visually impaired Hemingford Public School student Miley Krebs needed a paraeducator, Chad Bell stepped up to the challenge.
I am very lucky to get a para like Chad. He's there in most all of my classes so that I can learn like the rest of the kids.
I first started working with Miley in 4th grade. I helped Miley figure out the different ways to do different things to get the same end result as her sighted peers.
Tell us why you're public school proud at publicschoolproudnebraska.org.
The Ace Rent to Own. 4 ways to save. 1. Cash and carry with our best price guarantee. 2. Up to 12 months, same as cash. 3. Short-term leasing. And 4. Our best rent to own low weekly rate. And this month, $4 pays the first 4 weeks. Get the furniture, appliances, electronics, or even tires today.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter. Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. It's like needing a lawyer, but getting some guy who just watches courtroom dramas.
How does the defendant plead? Guilty.
Wait, what?
Also, objection. You object to what? Erroneous. Counsel, approach the bench.
Hey, can I get a whack at the gavel?
You wouldn't settle for just any lawyer, so don't settle for just any insurance. Get the real deal with State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. My grandpa Lou is the reason why my dad and I started racing, and I'm really proud to follow in his tracks. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. I've learned a lot on this journey with my grandpa Lou, and the memories of my grandpa will always be with me. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Talking about Alzheimer's can be really tough, but if you notice something, have a conversation with your loved one. Encourage them to see a doctor or offer to go with them. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. The Alzheimer's Association provides care, support, and research to help you take control of the situation with your family and manage the disease together. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Now, back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we'll have another Nebraska football conversation in a second, but things are getting funny. We have some comments in terms of who people want to be the Nebraska jersey sponsorship. Who do people want the patch to be?
Some ideas.
Obviously, Valentino's Runza has been put out there. Kowalski in the chat goes, Dorothy Lynch or Kool-Aid is what he
Hey man,
wants.
if you just put that iconic Kool-Aid man on the shoulder, like the red might make it more palatable for the fan base, right?
Paul Newman has the ability to do the funniest thing of all time. Can you imagine?
Come back to life?
No. Okay. I'm talking about the dressing, right? The
yes.
dressing.
Just his face,
yes.
his head.
Can you imagine Paul Newman's head on somebody's football jersey. Do you know how funny that would be?
Mm-hmm.
How about Little Debbie? Can you imagine like a
just her? Yeah.
How about Little Debbie on like a North Carolina jersey?
I like it.
This is great. Little Debbie, or how about the guy Mr. Clean? How about you get Mr. Clean on
his smug bald body on your jersey?
Or
like no words.
How about we get Emu the Lemu and Doug
or just the emu?
Just maybe the emu, just right on the patch.
Mm-hmm.
Or I would love the general. Go to the general to save some time. Put that little general right on the football patch. I think the opportunities are endless. I think it's a miss for Kansas to go with the highest bidder in some Ripple cryptocurrency. If I was in the offices of college sports right now, I would try and do the most ironic and funniest jersey patch sponsor I possibly could do.
Amazing Daniel does have a good idea.
Yeah.
What if Nebraska hooked up with Netflix and got the big red Nebraska?
Yeah, double the ends.
Yeah.
And then what if they did like...
It would look like a Nebraska logo on the shoulder, right?
You want to really piss off the olds? Make them pay $1 billion, and we will replace the Nebraska N with the Netflix N. We'll take how much money would it take?
Look, we'll take our N off the helmet.
N off the helmet and put the Netflix N on the football helmet.
You know what?
What if
I would love to sit here and tell you I would notice. They couldn't get it past me. They absolutely could. They could absolutely make that change today, not tell anyone, and I wouldn't notice.
I'm looking at the Netflix N right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would know. I think I would know.
You think you would know? Okay.
I think well,
let me look. Let me look.
They are really similar.
They're
really similar. It's just the middle part is a little. All right.
In the game, I would not notice. If you showed me a picture, I would notice.
Poll question. If Netflix promised to be Nebraska's Warren Buffett, would you replace the N? Would you do it? Would you allow the Netflix N to become the Nebraska N? If they promised, Nebraska fans right now, hear me out. This is a fun hypothetical. I'm not being serious, but a fun hypothetical. If Netflix said, all right, Nebraska, you want to be Cody Campbell? You want us to be your Cody Campbell? You want to have the oil money? You want to go toe-to-toe with the cookie money? You want to go toe-to-toe with the chicken finger man? You want to go toe-to-toe with the Walmart money? Or Larry Ellison? Or David Booth? You want to go toe-to-toe with these people? The Netflix N becomes the Nebraska N, and we will fund you more than any college football department of all time. Do you take that deal?
I would. Absolutely. I would not really give it much more thought than that, but there is a segment of the fan base
that would say no. They would totally say no.
Would not even consider it.
There's a segment of the fan base right now that is mad that I'm even asking this question. That they are like, what is this guy talking about? What? The Netflix N is the Nebraska N, but you get all the players. Okay? Hokisker goes, would add a whole new concept to Netflix and chill.
Oh, okay. Here's the question I have. Let's see it. It's a little wordy, so let me
go ahead.
Workshop it. If Netflix promised to be Nebraska's T. Boone Pickens, would you allow them to put their red N on the football helmet instead of the Nebraska N?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. Absolutely. This is I'm going to be real with you, Josh. This is a a people experiment here. This is like a social experiment.
This is going to tell you a lot about how you feel about a lot of different things.
Can I be real with you? This
Please.
has the potential to do some numbies here.
Okay. Please retweet. It's important.
Doug in Idaho goes, why would Netflix pay that 70% of millennials think it already is the Netflix N?
Not wrong.
I thought Doug was going to say, why would Netflix pay all that money just to be disappointed year in and year out? Another valid question to be asked.
I did think that's where the question was going. Yes.
Wow. Travis goes, everything is available for a price.
Yeah.
He's like he's like Ted DiBiase. Is Netflix the Ted DiBiase of streaming services?
Oh, are they going to knock a basketball out of our hands?
Everyone has a price for the $1 million streaming service. Let's go to the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. Well, the text line, rather, 402-951-1620. Prairie Flower Casino, play longer, win more. By the way, Pesky Blues was our great friend from Liquid Trucking. We've been looking at tweets all day from the Zone Twitter feed, which is powered by Liquid Trucking. And don't forget to email in on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. Equitable Bank, they take banking personally. I love you, old man Doug. I saw a very funny text into the
OMD
text. Can you look at it? I don't think I can.
Oh, let me see.
Please look at it, Dad.
It depends on if Joey is still logged into this or not. Ooh. Okay.
Just, can you read from there?
I cannot.
Look at the top one. Look at the very. I can't get it to you.
I'll walk over there. It's fine.
Walk over here. I want you to see this one before I read. I want to read it. I don't think it would be appropriate. That one. I don't like it. I don't like it either. I don't like it either. But it's funny. It's so funny. It's very funny.
Can I take the audience behind the curtain on this?
Go ahead.
Because I do want them to know what was being talked about. It's a certain company that had to change their name in light of certain unpleasantness.
That has to do with a very historical university that has done some questionable things in the past.
With a college that had to change their mascot because of unpleasantness. But I thought for sure I was going to walk over there and there was going to be either a swear word that you obviously can't say. Why are you asking me this, Matt?
Yeah.
Or something so benign that, like, well, of course you can say that, Matt. What? Thank you for asking. But why would you do that?
Are you proud of me for bringing you in on this?
That is probably the line.
That is the line.
Like, I think we could say it and we'd be fine,
And
but
we'd be
like
okay.
let's just not.
No, I could thank you for clarifying, by the way. I'm not being psycho. Like, it's weird. But anyway.
Maybe the bottle of syrup you used to get at your house has changed its name and they're looking to really rebrand properly.
In relation to a team that a Manning used to play for. Nebraska football definitely should do something fun for a patch because watching a rural coach team certainly is no fun.
Oh, no.
Jed goes, only if they let Husker fans exclusively share their passwords again. Oh, that's a sweetener. That's a sweetener.
Okay, so very early poll results.
Okay, go ahead.
We are getting some traction on this poll question.
Are we getting retweets?
Yes.
Oh, we are.
Again, the question, if you just tuned in, people dipping in and out, you know how it is.
Oh, yeah.
If
radio.
Netflix promised to be Nebraska's T. Boone Pickens, would you allow them to put their red N on the football helmet instead of the Nebraska N? 84% of the audience says yes.
Wow.
Very early.
Very early. Can we get Kornacki in? Too early to call. Too early to call. I have retweeted.
I'm sorry. Mike Farron's on line 1.
All right, we're gonna. Sorry,
too soon to tell. Too soon to tell.
Sorry, Don. Sorry, I'm sure you're saying something great there, Don Love. But let's go to Steve. Steve, you got something there for us? Yeah, we're getting results in right now to Pennsylvania. Dude, I would love to be like, just bring me in as like the Carlos Marmol of like presidential like coverage and just let me do the map. That's my dream, to do the map on election day.
There's
right? Just
so many
in.
guys that work specifically at 1620 The Zone that want to do the map on election night. It makes me think that A, we should get a map.
Yes.
Or B, that just all dudes want to do the map.
I think the map is so sick. And Kornacki's go to Miami-Dade County, right? Back in 2016, Hillary Clinton is getting this amount of votes here. But we go back to 2012. Obama dominated against Romney. Not the same case here. Remember that one moment where they showed that Kamala wasn't performing well in any other counties in the United States than Joe Biden was? And then there was like the silence came through on the broadcast. That was a moment. That was a moment. Brandon Miller tweets in on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed. How about just a get or done on the jersey? Probably not. I don't think people will be very happy about it. All right. We'll give you a poll update after we hit this break and talk about a terrible list. And then a Wacky Guest Wednesday at 1 o'clock here on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620, The Zone.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL or visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on. Visit CordellCordell.com to schedule your consultation.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell and Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell and Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. 13340 California, Omaha.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of acid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
When money's tight and you're behind, every dollar counts. And Liberty Mutual can help you catch up to make that back nine rally to win, if you will. Liberty Mutual comes up clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with partners that work hard to help you keep more of what matters most in your pocket. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent.
Looking for a career that actually means something? With the Omaha Police Department, you'll get paid training, real support, and the chance to serve a community that matters. As Nebraska's largest law enforcement agency, OPD sets a strong standard and backs it up with competitive pay, including 5% above surrounding areas. If you're ready to start strong and build a future you're proud of, apply now at joinopd.com. Are you ready for more?
The word father means a lot to me. Being that support system for them, and as a man, it's important in a child's life. I think men can be a little stubborn sometimes where they may want the help, they may not know how to ask. It's hard for a man to speak his emotions. Those tears, they mean something. You know, wrap away, tears are water and water is life. And when you shed those tears, that's love. That's real love. Sometimes as dads, I think we're too hard on ourselves. Life can come at you really quick, and it can be really tough at times. But then you put that one foot in front of the other, and you keep doing the right thing. Slowly that voice goes away, you know. Wrap away, you got to pray for yourself, as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself.
Never stop being a dad. That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm Emmett Smith. Opioid poisonings cause the most accidental deaths in the U.S., and I've lost loved ones. But now I'm prepared to save a life. Just remember, lay, spray, stay. Lay the person on their back, use Narcan nasal spray, Dial 911 and stay with the person till help arrives. Continue to administer additional doses as needed. An opioid poisoning can happen to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Always be ready to rescue. Learn more at readytorescue.com.
Now back to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
Still have plenty of comments rolling in terms of what Nebraska's football sponsorship should be. 4-2 goes, I would let Elon Musk replace the N with an X for cash, by the way. I don't know if I'd go that far. All right, let's talk about an interesting list that I read. It was the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten, according to Ari Wasserman.
All right, let's give Big Tone his flowers.
Number 1, Dante Moore.
Okay,
No
yeah,
problem
I didn't think Colandrea would be number 1.
Number 2, Julian Sane. Fine.
That's one way to go, sure.
Yeah. Number 3, Jaden Maeva. Okay.
Whoa, I got to tell Scott Wolf.
Number 4, Damon Williams.
Demon D.
Number 5, Indiana's quarterback, Josh Hoover. Number 6, Penn State's quarterback, Rocco Becht. Number 7, Bryce Underwood, Michigan's quarterback. Number 8, Maryland's quarterback, Malik Washington.
Maryland?
Number 9, Nico Iamaleava. Nico Iamaleava.
Nailed it.
UCLA's quarterback. Number 10.
Here it is.
Big Drake Lindsay. Minnesota's quarterback.
Minnesota.
Anthony Colandrea left off of the top 10 quarterbacks in the Big Ten, according to Ari Wasserman. He is not in the top half of quarterbacks in the league, according to On3. Let me...
this does not sit well with me.
Let's just go through this list real quick. Dante Moore, number 1. Couldn't agree more. Julian Sane, number 2. I mean, you cannot deny his stats. You cannot deny the fact that 3,600 passing yards. He was insanely accurate, especially down the field. His touchdown to interception ratio was absolutely phenomenal, 32-8. His average yards per pass, 9.2. The guy completed 77% of his passes. He had a hell of a year. Did he play well in the 2 biggest games of the year against Indiana in the Big Ten championship game and against Miami in the national championship quarterfinal, the Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic? No, he didn't. He played one of his worst games of the year in both those games, but that's fine. That's fine. He's still a very good quarterback. Jaden Maeva, number 3, I think is Wasserman just kind of buying in on the USC hype and projecting him to be pretty good this year. I would personally put Damon Williams as the 3rd best quarterback in the Big Ten ahead of Maeva. You know, to me, Williams.
You're big on Demon D.
Well, he's got 611 rushing yards, more touchdowns than Maeva. He's got less interceptions than Maeva. Maeva does have him in the completion percentage battle, but still, it's one of those things where Damon Williams with his legs is an absolute game wrecker. He's a game changer. And I think Maeva is a good quarterback with Lincoln Riley with the right coach, but I would prefer Williams over him. Honestly, there would be plenty of people who prefer Maeva over Williams, and, you know, that's just their flavor. That's their taste. Josh Hoover. Number 5, no problem. Here's one I have an issue with. Rocco Becht as the 6th best quarterback. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, 2,500 yards, 60% completion percentage. He's a fine, experienced player in the 4th quarter, but I am not putting Bryce Underwood, who is the $10 million quarterback, who I think is going to take massive strides this season and be another game wrecker for Michigan, and Malik Washington, who just objectively, Malik Washington was in a better conference, had better stats than Rocco Becht, and was on a much worse team than Becht was last year on Iowa State. I would put Becht 7, put Bryce Underwood 6, Malik. Well, honestly, I put Malik Washington ahead of Underwood. If Malik Washington was playing for Michigan, I think we'd be talking about him probably to the same level as we're talking about a Maeva or a Williams. That's how good Malik Washington is. Number 9, Nico Iamaleava and Drake Lindsay. 9 and 10 over Colandrea. A joke. An absolute joke, in my opinion. So I did a test here, Josh, because if you look at Anthony Colandrea's stats, his stats obviously are a little inflated playing in a worse conference, but he has the most rushing yards plus passing yards out of all these quarterbacks from last season to this season. So let's put like a modifier on it, right? Let's just say, okay, hey, the Big Ten is much better than the Mountain West. Let's just give Colandrea 80% of his stats, okay? If you were to just multiply Colandrea's stats by 0.8, we're going to give him 80% of the stats because he played in the worst conference. He would have more passing yards than Becht, than Underwood, than Iamaleava, than Lindsey, okay? He would have more total yards. He would have more total yards because you have to include his rushing yards. He would have 3,300 total yards. He would have more yards than Becht, Underwood, Washington, Iamaleava, Lindsey, and Hoover. And he'd have more yards than Josh Hoover, and he'd almost have more yards than Damon Williams. But if you add his rushing stats, he would have nearly as many yards as Julian Saint. If you were to cut his stats and only multiply them by 80%. If we want to, hey, Matt, Mountain West, they're way worse than the Big Ten. Multiply it by 70%. Okay. He still has more passing yards than Lindsey, than Iamaleava, than Underwood. He still has more total yards than Becht, than Washington. Okay? Like, it's just one of those things where this guy was so dominant in the Mountain West. I understand he didn't play Big Ten football last year.
Did you account for Holgerson being a scaredy cat and not wanting to move the ball downfield in the way that we're used to him at other stops in his tenure?
Probably not.
You're going to want to take another at least 10% off because of that.
I'm just telling you that, like, I get it. He played in the Mountain West. It's a much worse conference than the Big Ten. But even when we do this exercise, and I literally shave off strength of schedule for you, and I do these equations, he still is a more productive player than a lot of these guys who are 7, 8, 9. I would take Colandrea over Iamaleava, and I would take him over Lindsey any day of the week. Any day of the week. And I'd take him over Becht. I would. Call me a madman. I don't care.
Connor called us a madman for thinking we'd move studios one day.
Wacky Guest Wednesday coming up next year. A great one indeed on the 1620 Zone Radio Network.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists. Doesn't matter where you get your pre-approval. As a consumer, you have lots of choices when it comes to getting a mortgage pre-approval. You can go online or a mortgage professional like Mortgage Specialists. However, not every lender is the same. Online processing tools can pre-approve you in minutes, but it's more likely very inaccurate. We recommend that prospective buyers get pre-approved by a local lender. When you work with reputable local lenders, the pre-approval means what it means. You get a real evaluation of what you can borrow, and you and your real estate agent can have peace of mind through the entire process. Find out about pre-approvals and more when you subscribe to Mortgage Matters in Minutes on our YouTube channel. Just search Mortgage Specialists LLC.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
Something has awakened at 70th and Q, dude. Summer is on at Funplex, and Mammoth is leading the charge. 70 feet high, 2,000 feet of track, packed with twists, turns, and speed that'll have your whole crew screaming for another lap. If you've been waiting, or if it's been a while since you visited, it's time to Funplex and find out. This summer, Mammoth calls. Get your tickets now at fun-plex.com.
Truck drivers know the road, but they also know how important it is to get home. At Liquid Trucking, you don't have to choose between the two. Our drivers enjoy consistent home time with weekly schedules you can count on. We also pay by the hour with reliable weekly pay you can depend on. Drivers can earn $95,000 to $105,000 in their first year with opportunities for bonuses and extra pay. If you're a CDLA driver looking for dependable home time and strong pay, apply today at liquidtrucking.com.
Imagine if the people who work at your bank or neighbors who could help with a home loan.
Congratulations, you're approved.
Or friends who love to shop local.
Have a good one.
At UBT, who you work with matters just as much as what you're working toward.
Hey, thanks for helping.
That's why your money has more than a banker. It has people. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender. Member FDIC.
The Ace Rent to Own. 4 ways to save. 1. Cash and carry with our best price guarantee. 2. Up to 12 months, same as cash. 3. Short-term leasing. And 4. Our best rent to own low weekly rate. And this month, $4 pays the first 4 weeks. Get the furniture, appliances, electronics, or even tires today.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Are you about to mow the lawn? It's blazing hot out here. Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry. It's all on SmokeyBear.com because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hey there, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, planning a spring wild turkey hunt? Many of us are. Then we need to remember safety first at all times. When we're in the field, we need to be doubly sure of our target and background before we fire a shot. And never, ever wear the colors of the wild turkey gobbler, red, white, blue, and black. Plan your hunt and hunt your plan. Be safe out there. I'm Greg Wagner.
KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
It's Wacky Guest Wednesday. Middays with Matt. Who is our guest? We don't know. It could be anybody. It could be an actress. It could be a singer. Could be your mom. Hey, oh, let's go. They're in the green room. Who's our guest? We don't know. They're all booked up and they're ready to go. Hey, Josh, choose a guest. Make them interesting. Don't screw this up, or this will suck. It's Wacky Guest Wednesday.
It's
Middays with Matt.
Yes, Wednesday here on Middays with Matt, and we bring in somebody who, this is the first time in Wacky Guest Wednesday history that I actually knew who the guest was before they came on, because our dear darling Josh Odson was up till 4 a.m. and I was not going to make him impromptu book a guest. So we are bringing on a friend
busy
who fits the description of Wacky Guest Wednesday, because during Wacky Guest Wednesday, we don't necessarily want to talk about sports. We want to talk about other subjects, and we want to talk to people who are experts on these subjects. And we're talking to someone who joined us at the College World Series from Hurrdat Sports. It's Dan Hoppin. Dan, how are you?
What's up, Matt? I'm doing great today. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Now, Dan, your expertise, your specialty, and I saw someone describe you as this, is food around Omaha, restaurants across Omaha. And when we were together at the College World Series, somebody came up to you and said, you're the guy on Instagram. You're the guy who tells me what to eat and where to eat food and what are the spots for the College World Series. How often does that happen to you, Dan?
You know, it's kind of crazy. It's happening more and more often lately. Probably it never happened until probably about the last year. And, you know, it's an honor to be recognized as that. But really, all I care about is we have an amazing restaurant community here in Omaha. We have so many options, and there's so many great restaurants that might be a little lesser known or off the beaten path. And I know that if someone goes there, they're going to have a meal that's amazing, and they're going to want to come back. And I just consider it my goal to help them find those places. So it's cool that I get recognized and everything like that. But to me, it's all about the restaurants. And if somebody's following me, I just hope that I help them find a couple good meals at some places I didn't expect.
You know, I very famously, I'm not from Omaha. I'm not from Nebraska. I'm from Skokie, Illinois. And when I go back to my hometown, I'm often asked, how's Nebraska? Right. And like, you know, this is the easiest way of saying it. Like, a lot of people out there in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area, like they don't necessarily travel out to Nebraska a whole lot. They haven't necessarily been to Omaha. So they're always curious about my thoughts on living in Omaha. And I often tell them, I didn't recognize how good the food scene was. I didn't recognize how many, like you said, options there are out there. Is that a sentiment that you get often? Is that a sentiment that, you know, people often tell you that I didn't realize how good the food in Omaha was? Is that a common theme for you?
Oh, that happens all the time. Whether it's people coming in for the College World Series or for Berkshire Hathaway days or anything like that. Even just people from out of town. I mean, I'll get asked. Someone will send me a message or something and be like, "Hey, I'm coming in Omaha for a couple days. Where should I go?" And I'll shoot in some restaurants, and they're like, "I had no idea that I could get, you know, Jamaican food in Omaha.
Sure.
Good. I thought I was just going to get corn and steak. Like, I thought that's all you guys were. But I had the best Indian food I've ever had in my life. Or I had an incredible sandwich that was made on this homemade focaccia. The Nebraska scene just is so deep, and there's so much. And I think this is something that we're seeing more throughout America. And I think it's really exciting is that really in the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, to make it big as a chef, you kind of had to be in one of the big food cities, whether that was New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, you know, New Orleans, whatever it may be. But with social media and just the way that kitchens and chefs have evolved, chefs are being more courageous to stay in smaller places and say, you know what, I'm from Omaha. I don't have to go to New York to make my dream restaurant. I can make it right here and people support it. And to see that happen is just so exciting.
That's an incredible insight. Is there a fad that you're kind of over with right now when it comes to the food community? Let me give you an example, right?
Please do.
We were always talking about fusion, this fusion, that fusion. Eventually it got old. Then a couple of years ago, and it's kind of died down a little bit, but like everything became Wagyu, you know, like we had the Japanese A5 Miyazaki Wagyu, and then it was the Australian Wagyu, then it was the American Wagyu. It still kind of is happening a little bit. Is there like a fad or a buzzword like umami maybe that you're just kind of sick and tired of hearing?
I love umami, so I'll never get tired of umami. My thing is crab rangoonifying everything. Like,
I love it.
We don't need crab rangoon pizza. We don't need crab rangoon burritos. Like, crab rangoon is a fine little side dish at certain restaurants. I don't need it in every restaurant. Like, I go places and it's like I'll go to a Chinese place and see like crab rangoon dishes, or it's nuts. I don't understand it, but I'm also someone who doesn't really like crab rangoon that much. So
okay,
it's not the target demographic.
I was going to say too, like that is one of the weirder ones to make, like not your example, but like just to be like, I want to make crab rangoon everything, you know, like I would.
Let's just put cream cheese and red chili sauce on everything.
Dude, I mean, seriously, and it's one of those things too with the egg rolls. I'm getting a little tired of egg rolls being the Southwest egg rolls, the buffalo chicken egg rolls, all of that stuff. Like I'm with you. We're mixing up too many things here. All right, let's get to the down and dirty here. Let's talk about Omaha restaurants. Is there a place that you've been going to a little bit more often than recent? Is there a place that maybe you found out recently that you can't stop going back to, or you can't stop recommending people to go to?
Well, the thing about what I do is I try and support a lot of people, so I don't go back to the same places all the time. Like if I go to a restaurant usually 2 or 3 times in a year, that's kind of a lot. But one that it's probably been open about 6 months now. But down in Millwork Commons, actually right across the street from the baseball stadium, there's this place called All in Time Bakery and Cafe.
Okay.
And they bake their own bread. They bake their own focaccia. They do buns. They do this thing, it's called shokupan. It's a Japanese milk bread. And then they make sandwiches out of it. And I tell you, every time I go there, I get something different. And every time I'm like, oh, I just tried my new favorite thing. So that would be a place I would definitely recommend to everybody. It's still a little new, but pretty established. Yeah, absolutely. Go try that. All in Time.
You know what I love about this city is that like there's kind of the cuisine for everyone, right? Like you want really good Mexican, you can find some really good Mexican places. You want some really good sushi, we know a lot about really good sushi, right? And you can kind of go down the list. Do you think there is an underrated cuisine that Omaha has right now? Do you think there's a cuisine out there that there's a lot of these kind of spots that you can go to that maybe aren't getting the cuisine isn't getting enough love?
Honestly, this might sound kind of crazy, but low key, Omaha is a really good city for Indian food.
Wow.
And maybe this is just recency bias because I just had Indian last night, but like Kanara is one of the best restaurants I think in the entire city, much less just Indian restaurants. But you've also got Saffron Urban Indian Kitchen. We just went to Star Indian Cuisine last night. That was fantastic. I think they've got the best naan in the city. I went to Little India a couple weeks ago in the Blackstone area. They're really good. And I know there's like 6 or 7 ones that I haven't even tried yet that I have on my list that I can't wait to get to. So if you love Indian food in Omaha, low key, you've got some options. Now, I actually, before you ask me another question, I want to ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
And that is, Chicago is very known for 2 styles of pizza. There's the one that everyone thinks Chicago is known for, which is deep dish.
Yeah.
And then there's tavern style, which is kind of the locals' favorite.
Yeah.
And we don't really have either one of those well represented here. Have you been able to survive pizza-wise?
Great question.
Omaha without those 2 favorites?
Great question, Dan. All right. So yes, I have been able to do it. Number one, I am a sucker for New York slice. I love New York slice. So I love Frank's over there in the Capital District. Like to me, like especially like I go out there a lot, like in kind of that bar area. So like going and getting a couple slices of Frank's is something that I've done regularly. I love Paisans. I've only been to Paisans once. I'll admit that. But the one time I did go, I absolutely enjoyed it. I loved it. I'm thinking like it's one of those things where I've been you've had this before, Dan, where like for weeks you're thinking, when am I going back? When am I going back? Like I've done that with Paisan. So I've been good there. I'll tell you this. The closest thing I've gotten to a tavern style pizza here in Nebraska is Rocco's. I've been to Rocco's and they have that super thin kind of cracker style pizza. I will say it does depend on which type you get. Like I find that the buffalo chicken pizza was a little bit thinner than some of the other ones that they had on the menu. But I've been okay. I've never really been like, oh, New York pizza, I don't want to have it. Like I've been good, and Nebraska's a very, very good Omaha's a great pizza city. I'll say this, Dolomiti. You know, I'm not necessarily like wood fire kind of pizza. That's not necessarily like my go-to pizza in terms of styles, but I think Dolomiti does it incredibly well.
Totally agree on Dolomiti. Can I give you a spot that will kill 2 birds with 1 stone for
Sure,
you?
go ahead.
Okay. Virtuoso Pizzeria. It's in the Benson area. It's my favorite spot for pizza. They're most known for their New York slice, and their New York style is incredible. They also have a cracker thin Chicago style pizza.
Oh.
And from what I've been told, it's not exactly like tavern style, like what you might get in Illinois, but it is the closest thing I believe that we have in Omaha. So Virtuoso, whether you want the New York or you want that cracker thin, that's the spot for you, man.
And they have Italian beef, Matt.
Yeah. So that, you know what,
that's
Dan,
beef in the city.
that's the one thing I haven't been able to get here. I haven't been able to get an Italian beef here, and I'm a little nervous too, because like people get fired up about how they make Italian beef, and it's great, all right, but like I don't want to be the snob. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to be that guy that is like,
I gotcha.
like, because people get very proud of like, hey, I made this, other like style of thing, and being, somebody who grew up with it. I don't want to be the dude that's like, it's not very good, like, or it's not up to standard. But to your point, I don't know if I really need like a deep dish pizza spot here in Nebraska. Like, is that something that people like? I don't know if people really like yearn for that.
It's more, I feel like, and I guess you can correct me if I'm wrong because you've actually lived in the area, but it seems like it's more of a touristy thing. Like everybody comes in from out of town and gets the deep dish, but the people that actually like live in Illinois are just kind of like, I'll have that once a year and I'm good.
Dan, it is. Like now, don't get me wrong. Like there are people who love Giordano's. There are people who love like Lou Malnati's, and like they will every once in a while, they'll have that, right? But it's just like, I'm not getting deep dish once a month or twice a month or anything like that. I do want to say this too. Timber Creek Pizza, really good as well. That's a place that I've been to that I very much enjoy. If you haven't been there before, they got like a pub and grill over there. I really enjoy Timber Creek as well. Real quick here. So we talked about, let's see, great question for me, by the way, in terms of pizza. The pizza scene here is great. Is there a cuisine? I'm putting you on the spot here. Is there a cuisine or maybe a couple more types of restaurants that you'd like to see around here pop up more? Are you like, or do you go to a restaurant and you go, this is great, like I love this Ethiopian cuisine, but I wish there were more spots like that? Do you find yourself asking that question at all, or is Omaha just so well diversified you don't really have that question to ask yourself?
No, there are definitely still holes in the Omaha scene that I think that we could fill. The number one that always comes to my mind is just like a good hearty German place, that's got like kolaches and why can I not think of the type of dumpling they have right now? It's escaping my head right now, but that's one definitely. And then like Caribbean, Puerto Rican, Jamaican food.
Yeah.
We've got a couple spots in town. Like Ellie's Chinchorro is absolutely fantastic. One of my favorite restaurants. There's a food truck that just opened up called Jerk Macon Shack that has the best jerk chicken I've had outside of Jamaica. Like we've got a couple of those restaurants that are really, really good. I would just like to see more of them because I'm in love with that cuisine.
Is there a good Cuban spot for me? Do we have a good Cuban spot around here?
In terms of Cuban sandwiches or Cuban food in general?
Cuban food. You're a good man for asking that question, Dan. Cuban food.
Because those answers might be different.
Okay.
Completely honest.
I'm looking for like congri and plátanos fritos and like and plantain. And like I'm looking for that.
Ellie's Chinchorro, man.
Okay.
It's
all right.
It's downtown. Again, I'm naming all these places that are near the baseball stadium, but it's probably
perfect
3 blocks from the baseball stadium. You could walk there. It is, I mean, everything I've had there. The mofongo is literally one of my favorite dishes in Omaha. They're one of the only places in Omaha that serves a burrito, which is a sandwich that is made with fried smashed plantains as the buns. Like they've got plantain. I mean, everything about this place is unbelievable. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Dan Hoppin, you are the man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you greatly. Thank you for coming on the show. It's Wacky Guest Wednesday, but I don't think you're a wacky man. I think you're just a good man. So I appreciate you greatly, my friend.
Thank you so much. Happy to come on anytime.
Absolutely. Dan Hoppin. Restaurant critic. Well, critic and influencer, probably the best way to describe the man. Knows his stuff, man. Knows his stuff. Knows what he's talking about. It was so funny. You and I were texting last night, and you were very honest with me, and you're like, "Look, I'm gonna be real with you.
Look, I didn't do it.
Like,
I didn't do the homework."
You're like, "Well, it's tough. Wacky Guest Wednesday is not an easy thing. Okay, like first off, they have to be a wacky guest. Number two, you have to introduce yourself often to people that you may not know, and then like you have to go through that whole process. It's not an easy thing that I've tasked you upon. But it was funny. I'm now sitting there with your power. Like, who am I going to book for this thing? Like who qualifies for this thing? Like there are people that I would be a little disappointed in you if you were just like, yeah, we brought on Evan Bland. Evan Bland's not a wacky guest. Evan Bland's just a good man. Did you bring on Evan Bland one time for a wacky guest?
Yeah, I think I did. I think that was one of the days where I was like, oh, it's Wednesday. Oh, man, I didn't do that.
I didn't mean to do that
Evan,
to you.
can you bail me out?
But I was sitting there and I was like, Dan Hoppen would be perfect. Also, I think one of our best topics outside of college basketball and college football is just when we talk food. We're just two men who loves food. So that was fun. Dan's one of the best. Appreciate him coming on and talking to us. We have a big announcement right now. Chicago, and not Skokie.
Not Skokie.
Chicago is calling, Husker fans. 1620 The Zone is teaming up with Union Bank and Trust to send one lucky Nebraska fan and a guest to Chicago to see Nebraska volleyball play Missouri at historic Wrigley Field. How to win? Listen for the Road to Wrigley sounder. Head to the 1620zone.com and enter for your chance to win. We're giving you multiple chances to enter every day, all month long. The prizes include 2 tickets to see Nebraska versus Missouri, round trip airfare for 2 from Omaha to Chicago, 2-night hotel stay in downtown Chicago, and $150 gift card for the winner to use for dining, Ubers, merchandise, etc. Little tip here. Probably going to have to use an Uber from O'Hare to Wrigley or, wherever they might have downtown. But if the hotel is close to Wrigley, you won't be having to use a lot of Ubers there. You can Wrigley's very walkable. You will find that you can walk anywhere around Wrigley. But enter to win here. Just listen for the sounder.
Hey, can we play that sounder?
Go ahead.
This is a practice, okay?
Go ahead. Okay.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.
That's the sound you're looking for. When you hear this sound.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.
Drop what you're doing. Park your car on the side of the road. Go to our website and get yourself entered.
That was
a practice.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.
Again, practice.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey.
Now, that was just Matt.
No, that was you played the sounder.
That actually was pretty.
Hi, everybody. Harry Carey here.
You synced it up pretty
I
well.
did. All right. But I didn't sync it up. You just played the thing twice. That's why hi, everybody.
Harry Carey here.
See? You just
Holy Chicago.
These drops are hot on this new board.
Middays with Matt, 1620 The Zone.
Chicago is calling, Husker fans. You could win a trip or 2 to watch Nebraska volleyball at historic Wrigley Field. We'll fly you there, put you up for 2 nights in downtown Chicago, hook you up with game tickets, and even give you $150 to enjoy the city. Listen for the Road to Wrigley sounder on 1620 The Zone. Then head to 1620thezone.com to enter for your chance to win this incredible experience. Presented by Union Bank and Trust at UBT. People don't have your money has people. Member FDIC at 1620 The Zone. Weather from KETV Newswatch 7 is brought to you on 1620 The Zone by Certified Transmission.
Hot and humid again on Wednesday with storm chances returning in the evening. Expect partly sunny skies through most of the day with highs back in the low 90s. Then storm chances going up after 5 p.m. Some storms in the evening could have wind and hail potential. Scattered storms will continue overnight with heavy rain at times. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
IBEW Local 22 is hiring. Join a dynamic team offering opportunities in all classifications, low voltage, residential, and commercial. Whether you're an experienced journeyman or have no experience, they'll train you. Enjoy great pay, fully funded medical benefits, and a solid retirement plan. IBEW Local 22 is your gateway to a rewarding career in Omaha. Don't miss the chance to build your future. Call Mike at 402-810-0789. That's 402-810-0789.
Green State Credit Union is now open in Papillion. We offer better rates, lower fees, and award-winning service. Visit us at the corner of 150th Street and Highway 370 to take advantage of exclusive grand opening specials. Green State Credit Union, insured by NCUA.
Don't miss this week's Zone Deal.
This week's half-off deal is $50 in vouchers for only $25 to Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill.
Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill serves pizza with an unforgettable sauce and fresh ingredients and unique combinations of bold flavors. Visit Timber Creek's family-friendly dining environment while enjoying a popular adult beverage. Timber Creek Pizza Pub and Grill, 178th and Harrison.
Zone deals go fast. 9 a.m. Friday, 1620thezone.com.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Are you one of the 7% of adults in the United States who are searching for an alternative to sleeping in a bed? Then let me introduce you to Z-Cliner, the revolutionary recliner designed by FlexSteel. The Z-Cliner, meticulously engineered with restful sleep in mind, making it an ideal bed alternative. A healthy life starts with a healthy night's sleep. Z-Cliner is more than just a recliner. It's a personalized comfort experience. It features multiple power adjustments like recline, headrest, lumbar, zero gravity, reducing pressure on your body, tech integrations like charging ports for easy modern living. We know life can be messy, stressful. That's why Z-Cliner is upholstered in a moisture and stain-resistant fabric, perfect for all-day enjoyment, even homes with pets and kids. Z-Cliner, a complete sleep solution. Get started. Unmatched comfort. Zcliner.com/Dan Patrick today to find a Z-Cliner at a store near you.
The boys of summer are back. Listen to Kansas City Royals baseball all season long on your home for Royals baseball in Omaha. 1620 The Zone and Yacht Rock 1180. Royals baseball is presented by J. Stennett Contracting. We have you covered.
Disagree with every word out of our mouths? Tell us how you feel on the Liquid Trucking Zone Twitter feed.
What is dedication?
My daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. If there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around. And I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
That's dedication. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Family Man Josh Hodson. Family Man Matt Mc... You're kidding me, right? They want me to read this? Okay. Family Man Josh Hodson. Family Man Matt Mc... I'm sorry, there's just no way I'm going to get through this. You're listening to Middays with Matt on 1620 The Zone.
People aren't following our rule, and it's making me upset.
Everybody wants to come see the new digs.
Yeah, but knock before you walk in here. All right? We're working men. All right? This isn't like, you had to tell your mom to knock when you were like 14 years old. But, it's one of those things where it's respectful. Be respectful here. I get it. Everybody wants a piece of the pie. Everybody wants to see how radio magic is made when Josh Hodson and Matt McMaster have microphones right in front of them.
How do you guys do it? How do you do what you do?
Exactly. How do you make such great content? What didn't you like to know, Wonder Boy? What do you like to know, Josh Peterson? All right. Wouldn't you like to know what a talented tongue looks like? Everybody wants to know. As we J-Man goes 1620 the breakdown live on air. I mean, seriously. We had some great compliments of Dan Hoppin, who came on our show last
everybody
segment.
loves Dan.
Someone said that make Dan a regular. Love that. We had a great time talking to Dan. Jay Todd, I wish I was reading the text during the interview. He goes, Matt should ask what he thinks of clam chowder chimichangas.
Oh!
That was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, that one's on us. We're gonna hold the L on that one.
We're gonna go back to the lab. We're gonna watch the tape. We're gonna figure this out, because it's unacceptable that I wasn't allowed. Which
what was the Tim Tebow speech? I promise.
I promise.
I will never let you down again.
I will never work harder. I will never get these guys to work harder. Well, how funny would it be if Dan, after I asked him what's his least favorite fad, if he was like, everybody's putting everything in chimichangas. Everybody thinks everything could be a chimichanga nowadays.
To the fans and everybody in Zone Nation, I'm sorry. I'm extremely sorry. We were hoping for an undefeated interview. That was my goal. Something Omaha has never done here. I promise you one thing. A lot of good will come out of this. You will never see any producer in the entire country play as hard as I will play for the rest of my career. You will never see someone push the rest of the team as hard as I will push everybody the rest of my career. Wow, this really fits. You will never see a producer play. You'll never see a zone staff play harder than we will play the rest of our careers. God bless. What a really generic quote, though. I never realized how generic that
It's
quote
almost
was.
like you could it's almost like maybe it was rehearsed in front of a mirror.
Now, who's to say? Not me.
We need somebody to cut that up, and we need a zone promo to be that.
There you go.
What if we had you
Coyle? You're going to hear the hell out of this.
we have you read a line, and then it's like Josh talking. Then you read another line. It's Happer and Schaefer yelling at each other about Friars and Bears, and then it's another Bishop and Peterson space argument. They're always talking about space, those guys.
Nerds.
Losers.
I wouldn't go that far. They're just nerds.
No, I call them losers. That's what I call them.
That one's on, to each their own.
To each their own. I mean, what we talk about? We talk about lawsuits.
Women.
Litigation.
Maps.
McLibs. Beef. We talk a lot about Steve Kornacki. A lot.
Personal hero.
Seriously. I just want to be on the map, man. I just want to be a map man. McMapman, if you will. We talk about betting. Talk about sports books. We talk about beer. The manliest, most progressive show on 1620 The Zone, Middays with Matt. How can they be manly and progressive? That's why we're the Dos Equis commercial of radio shows.
Many are wondering.
Many are wondering. They go, it's a Wednesday. And Matt, you said on Monday that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you would do buy, sell, or hold. Are you going to keep that promise? You're damn right we are. You damn right we're going to keep this rolling, because this is our football segment in which we make sure that we preview all the things you need to know.
Continue with the APA theme.
Buy, sell. It's go back and forth.
I forgot the bit. Hold
or bet. Yeah. Today is, I wish we could title our shows after we do them. But we would just do a friend style, the one with the APA.
That would be a good bit.
That'd be a good bit
to do.
Or maybe we just start doing that on the YouTube. We just start naming all of our YouTube streams the one with.
The one with.
Because our bets are the ones that we steal. We are great at doing that. All right, buy, sell, hold, or bet. Couldn't get an interview today, so sorry about that. But we'll be talking about two teams that are in the southeast land of the United States, Clemson and South Carolina. Josh Otton, who would you like to begin with?
Oh, let's do the Clemson part first.
A once honorable, respectable, feared football program that has now been subjected to being a slightly above average ACC football team, which is probably the worst position to be in college sports. I say that tongue in cheek. Look, this is just a case of a football coach who was a killer, who was feared, who was at the top of his game, but is in the wrong era. The things that Dabo Swinney, like the way that he coaches, the things that he stands for, his principles when it comes to coaching football and building rosters were so much of the old time and no longer with the new time, right? For Lane Kiffin, who is the king of the portal, who has adapted to the portal, maybe arguably better than anyone else, because looking at Ole Miss and now LSU's consistent portal hauls, for every Lane Kiffin who has gotten with the times, there is a Dabo Swinney who hasn't. One of my favorite stats for a while was that there are only 3 teams, or was it? Yeah, there are only 4 teams in college football that had not taken somebody from the transfer portal. The 4 teams were Army, Navy, Air Force, and Clemson. That existed for, I'm almost positive it existed for like 2 years. That's just not something they did. And they dipped their toe into the portal a couple of years ago. And last year was supposed to be Clemson's year, right? They had a great defensive line headlined by Peter Woods. They had Cade Klubnik. They had really good linebackers. They had a returning offensive line. Like, they had all of the pieces. And for a lot of people, were a selection to make the national championship, and they just fell on their faces. Remember watching them versus LSU? That offense looked lackluster. They still had a chance to win that game at the very end, and Klubnik couldn't come up big. Remember, they played Troy. That was a scary game. Do you remember the Troy versus Clemson game? Like, there was a moment where, like, what the hell is going on here?
It was rooting hard for them Trojans.
Clemson ended up winning, but then they lost to Georgia Tech. They lose to Syracuse. They rattled 2 wins against North Carolina and Boston College, who were terrible ACC football teams last year. And then they play SMU and Duke. SMU, who won 9 games last year and the season before, made the college football playoff. And then Duke, who obviously ended up winning the ACC championship game. They lost to those teams and then rattled off a couple of nice wins against South Carolina and Louisville before losing to Penn State in their bowl game. It's one of those things where, you know, Clemson was the man in a different era. And, you know, you're thinking, all right, well, can Dabo learn his lesson? Can he adapt to the times? Can he just kind of mold into something that maybe he naturally isn't meant to be? And so you go ahead and you look at their transfer portal haul this season. He didn't. He did not. Plain and simple. Once again, Clemson was, you know, not a notable team in the transfer portal. They had the 56th best transfer portal class this year. They were behind Michigan State. They were behind Syracuse. They were behind Kansas. They were behind North Carolina, Minnesota, Houston, Arizona. Purdue had a better transfer portal haul. TCU, NC State, Kansas State, Utah, Northwestern had a better transfer portal haul than Clemson last season. And, you know, Clemson did not address, you know, Cade Klubnik, a very highly heralded quarterback from last year, got drafted in the NFL this season. They didn't replace him with a transfer portal quarterback. They're going to go with Christopher Vizina, a former 4-star recruit who spent the past 3 years being the backup to Cade Klubnik, right? They just didn't really bring in immediate help, and they still lost plenty of guys to the NFL draft. Now, they do have an All-American linebacker in Sammy Brown. They still have some talent on this team. I'm not saying that, you know, they are in the cellar in terms of talent in the ACC. They're still a very talented team. But Clemson, in this version of the ACC, their over-under being 7.5 is startling to me. I have a lot of respect for Dabo Swinney.
Feels like there's a butt coming.
I'm going to hold. I'm just going to hold. They had a good finish to last season. I can't buy them, and I definitely can't bet them. I don't think they made big enough impacts in the offseason, and they lost some really important players. They do bring some experience back to the team, which is why I'm holding as opposed to full on selling. But I'm going to hold here. I'm definitely not high on Clemson, and I'm definitely closer to selling them than I am buying them.
I don't think I had any Clemson stock left in my portfolio, but if I did, I would be selling it off. feels like it's over.
It probably is. It probably is. Probably is. You know, they made some coaching changes. They have some guys coming back on the offensive end. It's still Dabo. He's still a very good coach. I'm just going to hold. I probably should sell. South Carolina, over under 6.5. So Lenore Sellers, Dylan Stewart, Nick Harbor. Sellers, quarterback, obviously. Todd McShay has him as his number 2 quarterback in the 2027 draft class. Had a lackluster season last season. Dylan Stewart, one of the best edges in all of college football still today. And Nick Harbor, who is just an absolute freak of an athlete. A super talented core. Hard pressed to find a core like that that's more talented in terms of Sellers, Stewart, and Harbor. You know, the O-line was an issue for them last season. They brought in 7 new offensive linemen in the transfer portal. They have 126 starts to choose from when it comes to what their starting group is going to be. The running back room was terrible. They went ahead and let me I gotta find his. I'm sorry, I gotta find his. I gotta flip to the SEC page here. I gotta find his name. Their running back. Okay, Purdue transfer.
Purdue transfer?
He's a Purdue transfer.
Yeah, get the hell out of there.
Oh,
kid.
sorry. This is their wide receiver that's going to be next to Harbor. Nitro Tuggle.
Whoa.
Nitro Tuggle is
all name team
wide receiver for South Carolina, 34 catches, 500 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
I can think of some other jobs for Nitro Tuggle if football doesn't work out. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Nitro Tuggle.
Him and Turbo Richards need to start a podcast. Nitro and Turbo?
Yeah.
That sounds like a really bad Pixar movie about like, wasn't there a Turbo Pixar movie about a snail who like could race very fast?
It was a Disney movie of some kind. Yes, it was Turbo.
Running back room, they went in, they got some help. God, did they need it? Look, they had problems. They went to the portal. They solved it. They hired a new offensive coordinator and Kendall Briles. They went ahead. They got a new offensive line coach and Randy Clements. Like they've addressed, like this is the difference between Clemson and South Carolina. Like South Carolina actually went in the portal and said, all right, our O-line sucks. We're going to get rid of all these guys and bring in a brand new group. We're going to add more guys around Dylan Stewart to have some help on the defensive line. This is a team where their schedule is tough. Kent State, Townsend, Mississippi State should start 3-0 at Alabama, but you follow that with Kentucky and Florida. They definitely have an opportunity to start this season 5-1. But then after that, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Tennessee versus Tennessee at Oklahoma versus Texas A&M. Really hard trio of games. Follow that up by at Arkansas versus Georgia, and then at home for Clemson. 6.5 is the over-under for South Carolina. You know, it's interesting. I'm holding on Clemson, and I'm probably closer to selling. I'm holding on South Carolina, but I am very close to buying.
Buying, okay.
I love the talent of Lenore Sellers. Stewart is an absolute stud. Nick Harbor has the opportunity to be one of the best wide receivers in the SEC. Look, the reason why I'm not going to fully buy is like you did a lot of patchwork on the offensive line, you know, and that's something to be nervous about. And you could question some of the help that Harbor has around him from a wide receiver's perspective. It's not exactly like they went in and got super great running backs in the portal. They got the guy from NC State, Jacarius Peak, along with getting the backup to what's his they had a Nick Singleton, who was the other one? Katron Allen. They went and got the other running back behind them, Jabri Coleman, to go and help that group. So, you know, they added some good help around the super talented pieces. And for South Carolina, it comes down to does Sellers live up to his expectations, and does Stewart live up to that, and does Harbor take the next step? Like, that's a big key for them. And the fact that they have those pieces and they can do that encourages me. Like, it makes me think more of buy than sell. But at the same time, they've had to completely throw together a new team to get the right pieces around them. And, You can add in the fact, though, that this is a very big year for Shane Beamer. And does that go ahead and does that push them even farther and get them to the 7-win mark, to the 8-win mark?
I don't love their schedule or their kind of their
tough.
standing in the SEC, so to speak. But I mean,
Phil still has them as one of his most improved teams for 2026.
What team isn't one of Phil Steele's
Good
most
point.
improved teams?
So they that stretch of Tennessee, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M is super tough. But
Yeah.
I think they got a lot of talent on this team. And I'm willing to give Beamer the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to hold, but if they end up being good, I'm going to say I told you so. Is that a deal?
Yeah, I can make that deal with you on that.
Because I'm leaning towards them being good. If they end up being bad, it just everything goes to crap once again, then
I'm leaning
we'll see
towards
what
them
happens.
not being good. But I'll hold.
I think that this is a very mediocre buy-sell hold with Clemson and South Carolina. Like, both these teams are like,
What a segment!
I didn't say the segment was mediocre. I said the two teams are mediocre.
The segment was great. The segment kicked ass.
But I'm saying that, are these two teams going to have a massive impact on how we view the college football season next year?
No.
Probably not.
End of the season mid-off between these two.
That's why we did it at the beginning of buy, sell, hold season here on Middays with Matt. What's a watch your dog of the day coming up next?
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The
Hi,
Zone.
everybody. Howdy, Cowdy here.
Brent Rasmussen of Mortgage Specialists. You've decided to buy a house. Now what? It doesn't matter if you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned homeowner. The home buying process is not the same as ordering something from Amazon. The biggest trick is knowing how much you really can afford before the real house hunting can begin. I mean, really, really know. There's no time for guessing games, which is why talking with a mortgage professional like Mortgage Specialists first can make a difference. Some house hunting websites have calculators that'll give an estimate of the monthly payments, but they aren't really reliable. It's a better idea to get an accurate payment estimate using your own personal information. That's where Mortgage Specialists can help. Really, really help. Find out more when you subscribe to Mortgage Matters in Minutes on our YouTube channel. Just search Mortgage Specialists LLC.
Click mtg-specialists.com. NMLS number 5918, Equal Housing Lender.
When money's tight and you're behind, every dollar counts. And Liberty Mutual can help you catch up to make that back nine rally to win, if you will. Liberty Mutual comes up clutch by customizing your car and home insurance to save you money, especially when you bundle. It's insurance built for real people with partners that work hard to help you keep more of what matters most in your pocket. Liberty, Liberty, Liberty. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local independent agent.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
How does Host Coffee provide the best coffee for your workplace? By finding the richest and most robust coffee beans from all around the world and bringing them to our Nebraska roastery, where your coffee is roasted fresh and delivered straight to you.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
ZipRecruiter.
I'm Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. We know your time matters, so when you call us, we answer on the very first ring. That's our promise to you. We value your business and will treat you like a friend and neighbor, because more than likely, you are one. While other banks hide behind technology, we We combine the best of both. Top-notch digital banking and online banking with people who care. Got a question or need help? We're just one ring away. At Equitable Bank, we take banking personally because you deserve it. Member FDIC.
The Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council present the story of Tom and Levi.
Tom is the smartest man I know. He's been a professor at 2 major universities, been a teacher for over 40 years. One day, he told me that he was having problems in his classes. I think one of the students had asked the question and he didn't remember the answer. I also noticed that he was letting his class out earlier than they were supposed to let out. And he was telling them that he was doing it as a favor to them, but I think in reality, he just wanted to get out of there. I was really starting to worry because I saw something was wrong.
Levi and I talked about how it would change our lives, but he was there beside me, and my love for him was just immense.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
What is dedication?
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Middays with Matt. Middays with Matt. Middays with.
Okay, we're on the air here on Middays with Matt on the 1620 The Zone Radio Network. It's been a very fun day here as we are in the brand new studio, having a great time. Hey, we want to remind you that 1620 The Zone has tickets to the upcoming Omaha Storm Chasers game Friday, July 17th versus Lehigh Valley at 7 p.m. Everything Nebraska night, 1620 The Zone sponsor night. Some of the crew will be there to throw out the first pitch. Listen all week to Happer and Schaefer for a chance to win your way to the game. And we also want to tell you that 1620 Zone is teaming up with the Salvation Army in their annual 7-can back-to-school backpack program. Summer is heating up, but back-to-school season is just ahead. The program is focused on giving children in need the tools to succeed for a brighter future. It is successful because of the community's involvement year after year. More than 250,000 backpacks have been given away over the life of the program. Those wanting to donate can drop off the new school supplies from July 1st to August 3rd at select Methodist Health System locations, Metro Credit Union, Cubby's convenience stores, and Salvation locations. Find more details at 1620thezone.com. Josh Hodson, what are we watching tonight?
Well, we're going to watch baseball. ESPN gracing us with their coverage of baseball, a doubleheader tonight. Phillies Reds at 6, followed by Diamondbacks Padres at 9. WNBA doubleheader on USA. Lynx Sun at 6:30, followed by Fever Sparks at 9. Wimbledon, the men's quarters wrapped up today. There's a Brit still alive, which is always a big deal.
Yeah, I've never heard of the dude. It doesn't have a number by his name, which means that he wasn't very notable heading in. That's just how I watch soccer. What's the sport that America isn't good at? Tennis. Sorry.
Tennis.
That's how I watch it. Good for him. Didn't Andy Murray? Didn't he win a?
He won a Wimbledon one time.
There you go. And he won a gold medal.
Women's semifinals tomorrow at Wimbledon. Coco Gauff, the lone American hopeful, begins at 7:30 tomorrow morning. Matt,
I'm a big Coco Gauff fan. She's awesome.
You were talking about it during the break. You said some.
She's great.
Not odd things, but not even things I disagreed with. But
she's great. She's incredible.
Interesting takes about Coco Gauff.
Play the dog of the day.
Where is it? There it is.
All right, folks, let's talk right now. I'm going to kill your bookmaker. I'm going to rip his throat out. I will blow this man out. I will step on his throat until the man chokes. Let me tell you how.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners.
Dog.
Winners. I'm on a roll.
Dude, you gotta love dogs,
You
right?
punching the screen startled me.
You know, it'd be like that sometimes.
Logan Webb is on the mound. He's taking on the Toronto Blue Jays today. They're at home at Oracle Park. Let's go ahead. San Francisco Giants, money line, plus 117 to win. That's our dog of the day. Tony V, I believe in you.
Glad someone does. I'm sure his wife and his kids do, but beyond that.
What a first show here in the studio of Middays with Matt. It was riveting. It was exciting. It was groundbreaking. Trailblazing.
What?
Eyebrow eating.
What?
Eyebrow raising.
What?
Pie eating.
What?
How did you do that again?
I think we're mixing bits.
We are a little bit. Woo! Here. Middays with Matt on 1620 Zone Radio Network. USC the crossover coming up next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. On the track, my car's look is everything. But today, I'm talking about more than just paint schemes. I'm talking about my favorite games at Chumba Casino. Check out exclusives like Stampede Fury and my own King Croc Fury. It's just as wild as my car look in Texas. With over 200 games and new ones weekly, play for free at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward